What's up, everybody? This is me, LJP, your host for this episode of Free for Members Podcast, episode 8. I'm back with my co-hosts, Dylan.
Hey, what's up?
Ryan.
I'm back.
And special guest, Frank.
Hi.
This episode is going to be a little bit different than most episodes because we're not going to talk about RuneScape.
Not going to only talk.
Not even a little?
Maybe a little bit.
We can talk a little bit.
Well, I guess start with that then.
Okay, we can ease into it. So RuneScape is down at the moment, and we can't really look at the updates, but I have them engraved into my head right now. So let me look back.
Was it painful?
Let me look back. Oh yeah, it's 4/7/2014. That's today. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Ooh, new bank update. So basically now you can have preset loadouts, which is really cool. You can set up a inventory and an inventory and an equipment setup, and then you can save that you can save that preset setup and then load it at any time that you're by a bank. So it doesn't matter what you're wearing, what's in your inventory. If you load a preset, it will just empty everything you have on you into a bank slot and withdraw everything that you want to withdraw. And you'll automatically be wearing it, and everything will be in the set spot that you want it to be in.
That is probably one of the best updates we've had so far.
It's amazing, especially for farming where you have to withdraw a bunch of various different things.
My question is, why didn't it come out sooner?
It was supposed to.
I would have never thought of that for some reason, even though that's like really convenient.
It's extremely convenient. And also they updated the lag time. Now when you click on an item, there's no wait period. It automatically goes into your inventory. Like, I don't know if you remember, but when you used to click things, it would highlight for a second, disappear, and then reappear in your inventory. Now it's immediate. So it's really cool.
Now, with this bank thing, do you only have like one custom loadout you can make, or can you have like
you can have up to 10. 5. You can have up to 10, but everything after 5 you have to pay for, which is fair because I'm only going to use 2.
Yeah.
So.
And
yeah.
The free to play only gets 2.
What's your 2 going to be, Luke?
My 2 farming setups, my run setup and my tree run setup.
You wouldn't use the other 3 for like one range, one.
I haven't done melee combat since I got 99 range, and I don't plan on it.
Oh yeah,
I'm maxed out.
You're done with every combat skill, aren't you?
Out. Yeah. Besides prayer, but prayer doesn't count anymore.
No, that could be really useful for prayer too. I mean,
not just prayer.
Run up to the bank instead of having to find your bones or like click a bunch of menus to go through. You just click one thing and you're done.
We mentioned it last week, but it's useful for most skills. Like herb lore, you can just click one button and you just took out all the potions.
Yeah, exactly. Like overload making, that's really helpful. Like it's to find the button for the loadout, it's not as convenient as just clicking on a button. You have to like go to 2 menu screens. But for overloads, I would say it's definitely worth it. One thing I want to mention is that you can title each preset, and one of the titles is sailing.
Wow.
Is it really?
Yeah. If RuneScape was working, you could check it, but...
Quick question. I don't play anymore, so I have no clue what's going on. Basically, when you fill everything in your inventory, does it give you the option to fill a Beast of Burden as well?
No.
Not currently. But another cool thing is that you can set it so it's not just an inventory, but it's just what you're wearing or something like that.
Yeah, you can have it just be your inventory, just be what you're wearing, or both. Yeah.
That's sick.
So for armor setups, or like skilling setups, you can just do armor. And for farming runs, you can just do, like, inventory. So, yeah.
Frank, when did you quit?
Not necessarily quit, more like stop paying membership for the time being because, like, I have more important things to be doing right now. Maybe I'll buy it when the semester's out or not, but it really all depends on what we're doing during the summer, like, if I'll buy membership again or not.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you did that.
I mean, it's not it didn't necessarily get boring for me. It's just that, like, like, I don't know. I couldn't really do much on it other than fish. I mean, I got a lot done with fishing. I'm like 93 or 94 or something. But the fact of the matter is, like, there's too many times where I'm stopping paying attention to it because I'm, like, doing homework at the same time or something. But I don't know.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth, like, even though it isn't that much, it's only like $7-8. Still, it's not really worth my money if all I'm gonna do on it is just like AFK it and then like completely forget about it for like hours on end until I'm like, oh wait, I was fishing, and then log myself back in.
That's basically what happened to Dylan.
Yeah.
That's happening to me.
And main reason I haven't quit yet is because I don't have to worry about paying for membership anymore because I just buy bonds. So I think I mentioned that last episode, but yeah, it doesn't, like, I don't feel bad about playing anymore.
I thought it was like still under your parents' credit card, and that's why you left
No,
it.
it hasn't been under my parents' credit card since like 2011, 2012.
How much are bonds, like, of in-game money? Is it like 7 mil?
About between 5 and 7, so they usually sell for about 6.
Depending on how long you want to wait.
Yeah. But I remember the first day bonds came out, I bought one like with real money, and I was like I didn't know what they were, so I thought like you just buy it and then I thought I didn't know how they worked, and I was just like, cool, like this new thing, I want to buy money. I mean, I want to buy it. And I was like, should I sell it? And then I had like a moral dilemma, and then I ended up using it on membership anyway.
So you spent more money for membership?
Yes. Sorry, shut up.
You spent in real life money on it?
Yeah.
What? We condemn that on this podcast.
No, because I used it for membership.
You're a liar.
I seriously did. Because I figured this is the most equivalent you can ever get to selling something. Like, you know how a penny saved is a penny earned? If I'm saving $7 a month, I'm basically selling my RuneScape cash for $7 a month.
We talked about that last week. You're whoring your RuneScape character out.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I earned my first free ticket, key today. It was the easiest one. You got to watch a 1-minute ad for, like, some airline.
I should do that.
I just took a shower, came back, and
RuneScape.
Wow. You didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Luke, I got
You
RuneScape
said
to load.
1 minute.
Yeah, well, I was like, kind of had to take a shower because it was like 9:30, and I had to get to class soon.
Is anyone going to listen?
No.
RuneScape
I heard you. I heard you. You said RuneScape's back. But that closes the RuneScape portion of this podcast.
Wow, that quick.
That was 10 minutes. No, not even.
It's going to be a good podcast.
So, I don't know how we should start. I wrote, let's just start with Friday. So I was on the train coming back home from my weekend back at home, which I thoroughly enjoyed thanks to these boys. So thank you. But I will not explain what happened until I get through the whole story. So
Now, is this going to be like you just telling us, or are we going to be like commenting and saying what we...
You can comment, but I'm just going to be telling the story of my perspective.
This is Saturday, right?
Oh, I want to hear it from Luke's perspective.
This is my perspective.
I'm actually interested in
like,
this.
Now that I'm trying to write down everything that I remember, and it's just all coming together. Like, wow, I didn't notice this at first.
Frank already heard this from my perspective earlier when I told Neelan.
Yeah, okay. I want to hear from I want to tell you my perspective, and then I want to hear from Dylan's perspective.
Do I not get a perspective?
Thank you.
I wasn't with you all day. I was with Dylan. So, yeah, I'll just start with Saturday. So
what happened to Friday? You didn't really do anything. You came home late, and I was at work, and you went.
Yeah, basically, I write that I come back from my last class. I'm sitting in my room, and then I just decide to go home because I was supposed to come home the next morning. I was supposed to.
Weren't you supposed to do your like Christian group thing?
Yeah, I was supposed to go to an evangelistic dinner that night, but I didn't feel like going, and nobody like said anything about it, and I didn't really want to go in the first place. I wasn't feeling up to it, so I just decided to go home. Okay.
Oh yeah, didn't you say that you're like, as you're like walking to the train, you're like, I could still go back if I wanted. Nah, I'm already like 5 steps out the door.
Yeah, like as soon as I left my dorm building, I knew I wasn't gonna come back. But like walking through my hallway, I was like, I can still go back. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna type some notes while I'm doing it, so I'm sorry if it gets annoying, but I just want to like remember what happened. Okay, so I wake up around 8:30, and I go downstairs to like watch some TV, and my mom goes, "Oh, are you gonna talk to Dylan?" I said, "I'll let him sleep. It's only like 9 o'clock." So I wait till it's about 11, and actually, wait, I have the messages. I say, "Hey, you want to come over?" And Dylan goes, "I'm at a repair shop right now with my dad. When we get back, okay?" And I say, "Sure. Why are you there?" Dylan says, "The Pontiac, which is the car that actually was giving him trouble." So I believed him. All right, right. So he says, 2 hours later, no, like an hour and a half later, Dylan texts me, and he goes, "Can I come over?" I said, "Well, sure. We're about to go out to lunch, so is that all right?" And he says, "Yeah." So we wait for him. It takes like 10 minutes, and he comes over, and I see him with this nice Mustang, and it's it has all the new stuff on it, so he wanted to show me it, and so yeah, I look at it. It looks really nice. I point out the things to my parents because they don't really know what the heck's going on, and then we go to Taco Joe's for lunch. In the car, we like Dylan. It seems like something's wrong with Dylan, so he's like, "Dude, a bunch of crap went down. I'll explain it to you later when we have like some alone time." So, at Taco Joe's, we order our food, and like everyone's eating, and I notice Dylan hasn't come to get his food yet. And I'm like, and my grandpa goes, "Where's Dylan?" And I say, "Oh, I think he's in the bathroom," because I had no idea where he was. And then he comes back, he eats some more, and then he leaves again. And then I'm like, "What the heck? Is he like stomach problems?" So I go and check the bathroom, and no one's there. So I walk out the door and I see him talking on the phone, and I hear him like arguing with somebody. So I assume he's fighting with his parents again. And I don't want to ask him what's happening yet because there's still a lot of people around, and I knew it wasn't going to be something good. So I just waited, and we go back. We drop off my grandpa, and my aunt. And he takes me into one of the rooms, and he's like, "Dude, my mom found my weed." I was like, "What the heck?" He goes, "Yeah, dude. They're gonna sell my car. Or I'm gonna have to sell my car," he said, "because I'm not gonna be able to afford the insurance." I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, what is wrong with you?" So he's like, "Yeah, you have to take us. I can't hang out with you after this. You have to take me home. I'm in big trouble." So I was like, "Oh my, you're ruining my day right now, Dylan." So we go back. Dylan gets in his car and he drives off. And I'm like, my mom, I go upstairs and I just start playing on my computer. My mom's like, "Oh, is Dylan in trouble?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, that stinks. All right, just let me know if anything happens." So I keep texting Dylan. And I say, "Yo, what's the status?" And he goes, actually, no, I jumped the gun. He said, this is when he says he's gonna ask to sell the Mustang. It's about 3 hours later. And I'm like, "Dude," and he goes, apparently I'm not mature and responsible enough." And I said, "Well, are we still gonna be able to like go out to dinner tonight and watch the movie?" He goes, "When do you want to go?" I wanted to play some ping pong, so I said I wanted him to come over like now. It was about 4 o'clock at this time. And he says he can't.
Can we just stop for a second and just mention that the reason we were hanging out was to celebrate your birthday?
Oh, is that?
I mean,
part is
everybody
left
who listens to
out.
this podcast.
Forget to mention that it was my birthday. Yeah, my birthday is this Thursday, so we were having an early birthday
This was his
celebration.
birthday
That was the main
weekend.
reason I came home. I'm sorry if I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I really wanted to play some ping pong because it was pretty nice out, and I haven't played since like last fall, and I was even more mad because he said he couldn't come. So he says that his parents are only giving him 2 hours, and we can either see the movie or go out to Buffalo Wild Wings. And I'm like, I guess we'll go out to eat because we can see we can always see the movie the next day. So he comes over, and then I talk to Ryan, and he comes over too. And we're just in the backyard throwing the frisbee around, and Dylan tells Ryan the story, but he changes the details. So I'm like, oh, maybe the details don't matter, because Dylan tells white lies all the time. He changes small details; they don't matter.
Yeah, he does.
Just to speed up the story.
Mm.
So when he told me the story, he said his mom found it under his laundry, and when he told Ryan, he said his dad found it in his glove compartment. So I figured, whatever. Like he told me that he took it out of his glove compartment to keep it away from his dad, but if he wants to change the story, whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. So we go to Buffalo Wild Wings because he's rushing me. He's like, dude, we only have like an hour. We only have like an hour 45 minutes at this point. So we go, we eat, and then when we finish, Dylan checks his pockets, and he's like,
Mind you, hold on. Mind you that I drove everyone there.
yes, Dylan
Yeah.
drove us
You
in.
fit everyone.
Oh,
in-
wait, I forgot to say, Dylan.
Insisted on driving.
We're back. No, we're back at the house. Go back, like, to when we're back at the house. We go to the car. Dylan's like, look at my fuel door. He opens it up, and there's no gas cap.
Yeah, it just whoever pumped my gas last just never.
But
never
I'm
gave
like,
it back
dude,
to
what
me.
if your dad took it away from you so that you wouldn't drive? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
So I was like, I'm just trying to like put the details together because nothing's really making sense when I'm trying to make sense of it, because that's what people do. They try to make sense of things. So Dylan just doesn't want to take it, so he drives it back to his house like, shh, be quiet. I wasn't really.
And let's not forget, I had my car and I offered to drive. Dylan's like, no,
Well, Dylan's a pretty proud person.
I have to drive.
Shut up.
So we go back and Dylan puts the car and we're like, shh, shh, shh. Okay, run. And we run to his Pontiac, which is now
Thinking that his parents are going to come out and yell at him.
Yeah. So
Hint, hint.
we take it, we drive off, and Dylan's like, whew, dang, I'm in so much
Like,
trouble.
ooh, should I go back for the auxiliary cable?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did you actually forget that? Dang
Yeah,
it.
I did.
Oh man. It didn't really. We didn't listen to the radio. But all right, now we're back at Buffalo Wild Wings. Dylan checks his pockets. He's like, oh my god, I left my keys in the car.
The second time in 2 weeks.
I'm like, are you serious? Right now I'm laughing because this is the worst day of my life. I'm just laughing hysterically. And I'm like, oh my gosh, your dad is not going to pick you up. Your dad is not going to pick you up. Why would anyone, like, you weren't even supposed to be out, really. So he calls his dad and we wait for a bit and his dad shows up. And I was like, dude, I was with Ryan. I was like, don't get close. I don't want to get involved with whatever's going on. So Dylan talks to his dad. His dad hands him the keys. I don't know what he said, but apparently he had yelled at him. He was like, are you kidding me? But even though I didn't hear any yelling, he said that. So he's like, he comes over and goes, dude, did you hear that? I was like, what? And he goes, you couldn't hear me? He was yelling so loud.
Another inconsistency.
I was like, no, I couldn't hear him. I guess we were too far away.
We were 5 feet from the car.
I know.
He was like angrily talking.
Was he actually mad at you?
No.
Why was he angrily talking then?
It's like, I asked him to be angry.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, you forgot another important part of
What'd I
the
forget?
story. You forgot about the whole text from Katie thing.
No. No, it's getting up to that.
No, that was before Dylan's dad got there.
I know, but I didn't ask him about it till we got to the car.
No, you noticed that Katie had texted
No.
him.
Hold on. This is what happened. I realized I locked my keys in my car, even though I had literally done the same thing a week ago. So I had to call my dad and whatever. Then while we were waiting for him, that's when.
Yeah.
Mind you that my phone had died, so I was communicating with everyone through Ryan's phone, and then I guess you could pick it up from this part.
Yeah, so he gets a text, and he's like, Ryan gets the text, and he's very secretive about it. I'm like, dude, what's up? And I try to look. No. And, oh, yeah, he was, that's why I noticed, because he showed it to Dylan.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what's up? Can I see?
It was Katie asking if she wanted to. I'm like,
shut up.
I can just cut it out anyway. It doesn't matter. But,
no, leave you going.
Okay, fine. I noticed that Ryan's showing his phone. Like, I was looking at my phone, I think. So Ryan shows his phone to Dylan, and I look, and I'm like, dude, let me see. And he goes, nah, my mom's just cursing. I don't want you to see it.
I said, no. I said, it's my mom telling me I need to come home.
Yeah, and Dylan goes, and then I asked Dylan,
time.
and Dylan says, oh, that's just my dad. I said, why would your dad text him? Then I look, and then Ryan's like holding the phone away from me. I look, and it's from Katie. I don't see the message. I can't see it because he swipes it away, but I see it's from Katie. And I go, why is Katie texting Ryan?
I think you told that part a little bad. Like, when you asked who it was, like, almost simultaneously, Ryan says, my mom, and I say, my dad.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
yeah.
That was perfect.
So I was like, okay. And then that made me want to look who it was, and it was Katie. So, which is one of our mutual friends. And I couldn't see what she said, but I was like, Dylan, what's so important that she has to text Ryan on his phone and she can't wait to text you? Like, I don't remember anything that's ever been that important. And he goes, oh, dude, I haven't been talking to you that much because you've been away. BS, and we talk on Skype like every day.
Well, Ryan's been home, so I've been talking.
Ryan's been home, so we've gotten a bit closer than usual. So I've been telling him more things.
So that's why she's texting.
And you know how I had to choose between my old girlfriend and her? Yeah, we did the things. I was like, what things? He goes, you don't want to know. It's disgusting. I said, you're telling me everything when we get to the car.
The sex thing.
I said, you're telling me everything when we get to the car.
Well, what did I say? They're holding each other's dicks.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And so we get in the car. Everyone's mad, especially me. But Dylan said, only me. I find out later. But and we get to the car, and I'm like, you're telling me everything. So he tries to change the subject as much as possible, but I won't let him. And so finally, he goes, yeah, so me and Katie are having sex, and we were supposed to meet later, but I told her that it probably wasn't going to happen. And I was like, dude, that is literally disgusting. And I bashed on him. I called him a man whore. I just bashed on him.
You were so mad at him for some reason.
I was so mad at him.
The worst part is you believed him.
I was like, dude, you tell me to tell you.
No, hold on, because I made it believable. Back when I first started dating Dominique, I was like flirting with kind of both of them, and it was almost as if I had chosen Dominique, like between the two of them. So I played it off as like, oh, well, I chose her, and then like after we broke up, I went to Katie.
Yeah, basically. And I'm like, dude, that's disgusting. You always tell me to tell you when you're like messing up, and this is one of the times, dude. And he goes, dude, sex is sex. I'm like, oh man. But the way he was saying it, I knew he was lying about something, because the way he said it, I thought he was lying that he enjoyed it. But that's not what he was lying about. He was lying about something else.
No, that's exactly what he was lying about.
I guess that it is what he was lying about, because he said it the same way that he had said something else about a lie. There was this other girl, and I'm like, dude, why are you like hanging out with her? He goes, she's sweet. And I didn't hear any truth in that sentence at all. Ryan, did you ever hear that story?
No, I never heard that story. That's the next podcast.
Dylan was trying to get close to Kate. And
to Kate Noon?
Yes, exactly. And he couldn't because her nose was in the way, but still. Oh man!
Oh my god!
Staying in there.
Wow, you. Oh my lord.
She's in my new video.
That's gotta
The day when she sees this podcast, Luke, you better run.
Yeah, the day when she sees this podcast is when she gets a nose job because she can't see past like the bridge.
Oh my god.
This is an audio podcast, Luke. Nobody's gonna see it.
You know what? As long as we're making fun of her, I think she laughs like a witch.
It's like,
All right, Frank. Thanks for the
thanks for the input, buddy. You haven't said anything.
Coming from Frank, who also laughs like a witch.
But I don't actually laugh like that though. like that's just because like I don't know, I can, but I don't actually laugh like that.
Thanks for justifying. I thought you actually laughed like that.
Wait, you don't?
All right. What were we? What part?
You were talking about how
Katie.
Yeah.
No, that was yeah. Oh,
So I was like angry at him just because he does these things all the time, and I just
something
hate it.
didn't add up.
I hate it when I find out. I hate it when I find out about these things. Like I want to find out about it, but I don't want it to happen in the first place. So it was like an awkward ride home. Dylan drops me off. Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, you want to stay over?
Like, nah, my mom's been bitching at me all day.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes home, and I'm like, oh, this is the worst. I go upstairs.
I didn't actually go home though.
I thought you did. 'Cause
Spoiler.
You're like
telling
Skype.
him his perspective.
You were
yeah,
like,
that was good,
Skype?
wasn't it?
I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I go on I go upstairs like I'm about to go on RuneScape.
Oh wait, he said Skype?
Yeah.
Really? Because I was on Skype and you weren't on Skype, Luke. You
I know. I'm about to say it. I was about to go on RuneScape, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood. And my sister was watching Frozen, so I decided to watch Frozen with her.
But right now, this is like the worst birthday you've ever had, right?
Yes. I mean, Frozen's pretty good, but besides that, so I'm watching Frozen. I'm watching Frozen for the second. I'm watching Frozen for the second time in 24 hours. I'm sitting on my couch just watching it with my
that
sister
bad?
and her friends. No, Frozen's a good movie. I would have done it anyway.
Did we make your birthday that bad that you watched Frozen twice?
No, Frozen's a good movie. I was gonna watch it twice regardless,
But-
probably.
Okay, if Ryan Nealon were in the call, yeah, we'd be spending the next hour listening to why Frozen is the worst thing on the planet.
My Frozen
My
is
Skyrim's terrible.
But yeah, so I'm watching it, and I get my mom answers the phone. She goes, "Hello," and she starts walking towards me, and she's like, "It's for you. It's Dylan." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Dude, why didn't you answer your phone? I check it, and I had a missed call." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, dude. I had it on silent. What's up?" He goes, "Dude, I snuck out of my house. We're going to see Captain America. Let's go. I'll be there in 2 minutes. The movie starts in 10. Click. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get so excited. I'm like, dude, I'm going to see this movie. Because I wanted to see that movie this weekend. And I wasn't sure if I was going to see it the next day because we were going to have to sneak Dylan out again. So he comes over. He goes, dude, get in, let's go. And he drives me to Frank's house because we were going to pick him up to go. And he goes, all right, go stand at the door. Go get Frank. And so Dylan's waiting in the car, like right in front of the house. I see people moving, but no one's opening the door. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. And then Dylan suddenly backs up and parks the car. I'm like, what? The door opens. And it's just Ryan holding a bottle of Pinnacle, Katie, another girl called Sherry, and Frank just standing there. Surprise!
Surprise.
Get it because they were lying to me the whole time? Because it's a surprise party?
No, we were going to see the Avengers. Captain America.
I was like kind of mad that I was like, oh, wait, we're
You asked that. We got into the house and you're like, wait, so you're not really in trouble? I'm like, no. And you're like, why are we going to see Captain America?
And then like for the next 10 minutes, no, for the next half hour, I couldn't like function. I was like, my whole life is a lie. And the whole time I'm like, what? And I'm like, dude, did you really lock your keys in the car? Yes. Did you do that thing with Katie? No. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's real in my life. I'm trying to get a hold on reality. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I must have said that like 20 times.
Yeah, Luke was like so dumbfounded.
So baffled by everything.
Yeah.
It was good. For all the mistakes
it was
that we
great.
made.
I I feel like how my teacher felt the other week when he got me with the Beetlejuice exploding thing for April Fool's Day.
Yeah, basically Dylan got an email from his teacher saying that Beetlejuice had gone supernova. Dylan spent a lot of his day looking for a source of it, and he couldn't find it. When he approaches his teacher, he says, "Dude, it was a joke."
Gosh, it's sketchy.
So
Yeah.
Today I learned Dylan
True.
gets really hardcore into astronomy.
No. The only thing that like drew me to it was a visible supernova has only occurred 4 times in the last 1,000 years.
yeah,
So I was like, holy crap, I need to see this.
yeah, that was the big thing. It had gone supernova, and he gave a date, right, that you could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably yeah. So, so I'll tell the story of what happened at the party after, but I want to hear it from Dylan's perspective now. Start at the beginning. Start when I first texted you.
So basically, this is what happened. My dad had asked me. He was like, "Oh, I need to go get the car fixed. Are you gonna come with me at like 6 in the morning?"
You don't want to go into the fact that it was at Frank's house, not your house.
What?
Just go. Your Pontiac needs to be fixed.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Just the fact that we had to move the house, we had to change what house we're going to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna get to that.
Shout out to Frank.
Yeah, shout out to Frank. What a baller.
Shout out to me.
So yeah, I guess I'll start way back on like Tuesday or something. So basically, this is what happened, Luke. Like I want to say month or two ago, like you had been talking about the Fall Out Boy concert in forever, and like I don't know, like I knew like when you said that and like you were like, oh dude, I want the pipe, and I said like, okay, I'll get it for you, and like that was that. So you thought I was gonna get you that, and but really me and Davis like got the Fall Out Boy tickets for you. So but what I did like this like right when the idea had come into my head like I should buy these for you, like anytime like anyone would say something about Fall Out Boy or like I'd say something about Fall Out Boy, like it'd just be like ripping on them. And like, oh, they're so terrible. What?
Not when I said anything.
Oh yeah, not when you said it, but when Luke was around.
Yeah.
I would say like how bad they were, just so you wouldn't like, just so you would think
I was
that, like,
so mad because you had originally said you would go with me, and then I was like, dude, let's go. And you're like, they have like one good song, dude. I was like, come on, they're like my favorite band.
Yeah, so we bought you the concert tickets, and so then I proceeded to rip on them. And I think at that moment, I was like, all right, when Luke comes home, like, we're going to have, like, a surprise party for him. And the only reason I thought surprise party was because I knew you didn't drink, but you had mentioned that you would drink if I got you Cotton Candy Pinnacle. So I felt like if it was sort of like a big surprise and, like, everything, and I, like, handed you the bottle, like, it would have been like, oh, okay, I guess I'll drink. Like, I'll hold you to my word, or whatever. You could hold me to my word. However, I felt like if I had asked you about it, you would have been like, nah, let's go do something else. So I, like, started planning the party. Like, I got in touch with your mom about the Fall Out Boy tickets. I was like, please don't buy them. I already did. And she was like, yeah, right. They're so expensive. I'm not buying them.
Yeah,
so she was like, and then I told her, well, I didn't mention the party because I didn't know if it was going to happen. Anyway, so you had told me, you were like, I'm either coming back the week before, but I'm not too sure. But I'm definitely coming back 2 weeks after my birthday. And with like 2 weekends after my birthday. Yeah. So I was like, all right. So I was originally planning it for then. But then like this Tuesday or whatever it was, you're like, oh, dude, I'm coming home this weekend. And I'm like, oh, shit. So... And actually, the part that I was like, oh shit about was when you had said, I was like, when do you want to celebrate it? This coming weekend or in a few weekends? And you're like, oh, this weekend. I was like, oh, great, here we go. So like, text everyone, make sure everyone's like is able to come and stuff, and so everyone can come. And then like I was on Skype and I was like talking to you, And I was like, oh, well, what are we going to do when you come back? Like, what would you want to do? And you're like, oh, you know, Frisbee or whatever. And I was like, well, who'd you even hang out with? Like, Billy? And you're like, no, I'd probably hang out with, like, Zach or Tom or Kenny or Jonathan or Novak. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I was like, oh, I played it off like, oh, aren't they away at school? And, like, yeah. So what happens is, like, the second you tell me that, like, I text Zach and I let him know. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm planning a surprise party for Luke this Saturday.
No way.
Can you come? And he was like, oh yeah, I'll come. And I was like, can you text like the other guys and like ask if they'll come too? And whatever, he gets back to me, yeah, they'll come. So anyway, so that's where it's standing right now. My parents were like cool like 2 weeks ago and said like I could have a party at my house. So so I was assuming that they'd be okay with this. And like I kind of asked them like really last minute, but that's because I like started planning this last minute. It was actually like when I got home from work. And I got home from work and it was like, I want to say it was like 10:30. Like my mom was like dozing off and my dad was like about to go up to bed. So like I laid it on them and my mom like kind of was like, like kind of okay, but like she didn't really say anything. Like she was literally like in and out of sleep as I was telling her about this. And my dad said okay, and he like looked at her and he was like, oh, like yeah, like it was fine last week, so it shouldn't be a problem. So that brings us to
I had no idea you even let them in on it.
What? Let who in on it?
Zach and everybody.
Yeah. So
there was so much planning that went into this.
Yeah, I planned so much, man. Anyway, so what happened was Friday, because this party was on Saturday. Friday comes and I just didn't go to school because I didn't feel like it. And in that time, like before work, I literally like my basement was a wreck. I rearranged everything. I set up everything. I set up the table. I set up I pulled the fridge out. I made sure that was cold. I like cleaned it. I like set up all these video games and such.
Awesome.
I actually called your mom because I wanted to bring your old ping pong table in the basement. I wanted to bring that over, and she was like, "Oh, we sold that a week ago." And I was like, "Wow."
They sold it?
Or they got rid of it. I don't know what it was.
Wait.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
I don't think I even went in the basement. I didn't even notice it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I like set everything up, and like 3 o'clock rolls around. My mom comes in, and she sees like beer on the counter. And it was like the beer I had gotten like from my uncle.
Oh yeah.
Storm.
Yeah.
And I was just throwing it out. I'm like, no one's ever gonna touch this. Like, it's probably contaminated. Like, I'm just getting rid of it. But she thought it was like stuff that I had bought, and she was like, "You're having a party?" And I was like, "Yeah, you said okay." And she was like, "We're going back and forth. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, yep, whatever. Going back and forth." And I'm like, "Well, whatever. Don't worry about it. Like, it's not till tomorrow night anyway. It's for Luke. Like, it's for his birthday. Like I said, he was coming back." And she was like, okay. Like immediately gets on the phone with my dad and is like starting a fight over the phone with my dad while he's at work. So anyway, like then she starts asking me about it. And I'm like, well, it's not going to be the same like 4 kids or 5 as last time. Like I invited some of Luke's friends. She's like, who's Luke's friends? And I was like, oh, well, Zach, Kenny, Jonathan, and Novak. And so then what happens is, so I guess, yeah, this is still Friday. So, like, she's going back and forth with me on, like, you shouldn't, I don't want you to have this because it was one thing last time with people that I knew, but I don't know these kids, and they're gonna, I don't like that they're gonna be drinking, and then Zach said, oh, I said, you guys can stay here, but he's like, no, I think we're gonna leave. So I told my mom that, and she was like, no, like no one's drinking and driving. So like that was her first like thing, and I was like, okay. Like I made sure everyone had like a designated driver, and then I was like, all right. And then everything was fine. And because it was like, okay, everyone has a designated driver, everything. Okay, party's on. So I go to work, come back home. I'm like about to I go into the living room or the den to like see my parents, like say hi, and then like just go up to my room. And my dad's like, come in here, I need to talk to you for a sec. And then like I knew it was about the party, and like I had already been like fighting with my mom about it, and like basically I didn't want to. I was mad from work. I was mad about the party. So I was just like, oh, whatever. I canceled it. Like I like, just because I didn't want to deal with it. When I really didn't cancel it. So next morning rolls around. I like woke up at like 9. This is Saturday morning. I woke up at like 9. My dad was supposed to bring me to like get my car fixed at 6, but I didn't go with him. So I wake up. I'm like I'm editing my video. My mom gets up at like 10. So I go downstairs, and like we had been fighting all Friday like about this party. And so I go downstairs and I go, listen, like I don't want to fight. I just want to talk to you about this. And she goes, all right, well, what's going on? So I like ask her, I'm like, what exactly do I need to do to have this party? Like, I don't want you to just yell at me about this. Like, what do I need to do? And she goes, I don't want kids leaving and drinking. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, everyone has a designated driver. And she's like, okay. And then I was like, then like later she's like, I don't like that people are leaving at all. She goes, Zach is gonna get drunk. She's like, I don't care that nobody else is drinking except for Zach. Zach's gonna go home, and his parents are gonna see that he's drunk, and Zach's gonna, the mom is gonna like ask like, where were you allowed to drink? And he's going to say Dylan's house, and then the cops are going to show up and arrest me, and then I'm going to lose my job because, like, with a government job, there's, like, no felony, like, policy. Like, they won't take you, so I'll lose my job, and, like, Dad works for the government, too, so we'll all lose our job. We'll be out on the streets, all this nonsense. And so I was like, okay. So I text Zach. I'm like, listen. I'm like, what, like, this is the situation. What do you want to do? He goes, well, he's like, you know, I probably won't drink because like everyone, like a lot of the people won't be drinking, but you know, I might have a few, and we'll just like sneak it by. And like he's like, none of that's gonna happen. Like that's not gonna be a problem. He goes, your mom's just worrying. I was like, okay. So I just told my mom that that Zach wouldn't be drinking, and she's like, okay. So everything's fine. Party's on. I literally go up in my room. I'm like finishing editing the video. I'm texting Zach, and he goes. And I'm like telling him the situation, and he's like, yeah, the only time that I've ever heard like a cop's like breaking up a party was like at Eddie's party last year.
Oh, I remember that.
And he invited
That was
like
the whole grade.
He invited literally everybody he saw.
He invited like everyone, and it was shut down within 30 minutes. So I asked him, I'm like, what happened to the parents? Because like that's what my mom was so concerned about. And he goes, well, they did call his mom and just said like, you shouldn't be hosting this. And that was it.
Well, were his parents there or no?
No,
Yeah.
they were out.
Oh, well, whatever it was.
That
So,
makes-
like...
They were out of state, I think.
That makes
They're
a big
gone.
difference.
So, that I like wanted to show my mom that text to, like, prove, like, okay, look, like, nothing happened. But I go downstairs, and she's on the phone with Mariana, my, like, family friend / aunt from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And she's like, she just goes, it's canceled. And I'm like, what? And she goes, it's not happening. It's not happening here. I'm like, what? And she's like, I'm talking to Mariana, and like her, like both like Eddie and Caitlin, who are the like two of the 4 kids, they got arrested for drinking. And I'm like, well, what happened? And she's like, well, Eddie was like the passenger of a car, and like so was Caitlin. And I was like, all right, well, like I already said that anyone that's leaving isn't drinking, and like, so what's the problem? And she's like, nope, it's off. And like, I was just going back and forth, and I was like talking about like how much our town drinks, like that throughout the surrounding towns, like we're known as like the drinking town, and like how nothing's ever happened here, and how like you don't hear about anyone's parents getting in trouble. It's just this whole fight. It's just this big fight. And like, I'm just like, Mom, you're so disconnected. I wish you weren't like so old. Like you don't get it. Like you talk about like how you used to drink all the time. Like, I don't fucking believe you, because like you're so paranoid. I was saying like, oh, you're just like the rest of like your side of the family. Like you're all freaking crazy. You're all insane. I'm just going off. Anyway. So like, later, so now I'm pissed, and like now it's you had already texted me, like I already had like sort of like put it off, whatever. So that's what happens, and so so I'm like, so like what's the problem now? She just goes, I'm like, you didn't have nothing happened last time. She goes, then I want it exactly like last time. I want no more friends to come than who were here last time, and Luke. And I was like, okay, so that's what it will be. So like I text Zach and I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, the party's canceled. Like that's what it is. And I'm kind of taking like an artistic liberty here. I actually had thought the party was canceled totally, and I had told everyone it was canceled. But when my mom
Even my mom.
yeah, but when my mom had told me that, oh, well, it could still be on if it's like just those same friends, then I just told everyone the same friends that it was on again. I just didn't tell Zach that it was because, that's what it had to be.
Yeah.
So anyway, at this point, I go out to lunch with you, and so we're in the car, and like,
Well, that must have been a really eventful morning.
oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, I heard all about it.
I think
I heard all about it right now.
I think I got myself a little confused. At this point, when we're in the car, like nothing's on right now.
Really?
Yeah. So
it went
nothing's
that
on.
far.
What?
Like it went that long.
Yeah, it was the whole day.
Oh
so
my
nothing's
gosh.
on right now. I'm in the car with you. We drive to Taco Joe's, and while we're in the car, I'm like, dude, like I need to tell you something. And I was gonna tell you about like all my plans and stuff.
No.
And,
oh my god, that was
Good thing.
and then I'll like, but I need like whatever.
Oh,
I want to talk
let's
to you
not
about
forget
this.
that at this point we had no alcohol.
Yeah, we have
We
no
didn't get
alcohol,
any of the
no
stuff.
cake, nothing.
Wow.
So, like, at this point, like, nothing's on, and I had just told everyone that everything was canceled. So, like, I'm sitting there, like, in the car with you, and I'm pissed, and I was, like, about to tell you, but, like, I didn't want to go into, like, the yelling and screaming and stuff, like, in front of your family. So, like, I was like, I'll just tell you later. So we get to the restaurant, and, like, I order, and then I go outside, and I call Ryan, because Ryan was, like, for the most part, like, coordinating or trying to coordinate this with me. And I'm like, listen, like, this is the situation, this is what happened, whatever. And then he suggests, he's like, what if you just don't invite Zach and them? I was like, So then I get on the phone with my dad, and, like, I tell him, like, what about this? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, you need to talk to your mom about that. So literally, like, at this point I was like, oh shit. I just told Luke that I tell him about, like, some big problem, and, like, now there's a possible solution. So, like, at that moment I was like, what can I say? And then I was like, oh, I've been talking to you about, like, weed lately. So, like, I'll just play that off as that is what we were talking about. And because, like, that is something you could fight about, and, like, that I felt like that was believable. So I told you that lie, and then, like, I was like, all right, like, my parents are mad at me, like, I need to go home. And what I was really going home to do was, like, to discuss this. But my dad had texted me on the way back while we were driving back to my house, and he's like, don't even bother. I talked to your mom, like, you guys got in too much of a big of a fight, and it's just not going to happen. So, like, I was like, now I'm pissed. When I originally had left to come to your house to go to Taco Joe's, like, I was so pissed that the party wasn't happening. Like, I literally backed up into the street and did a burnout in front of my house and just floored it down the road. Like, and my mom heard that, and she got, like, so mad, like, just on top of everything else. So anyway, I get back home, and, like, now I'm mad that, like, I have this possible solution. They're still not letting me have it. So I, like, go up into the driveway, like, really loud, like, shut the car. I come in. I'm like I'm talking to my mom and, like, yelling back and forth again. I'm like, okay, what if it's just the same kids? She goes, oh, it's the same kids? Like, fine, like, whatever. And then everything's fine. And everything's fine. Party's back on. So I text everyone again, okay, party's back on. So at this point, now it's, I want to say 3 or something o'clock, right? So
that's when I asked you to come over.
Yeah, you started asking me to come over, and, like, then, like, I go downstairs, and my mom goes, she's like, so let's recap. First, my mom said, you could have this, and then she said you couldn't. then she said, you can only have this as everyone has a designated driver. So I got everyone a designated driver, and then she said you couldn't. Then she said, I don't want
They can't go
anyone
home
leaving
drunk.
if they drink. So I made sure that Zach wasn't drinking. And then she said that now she had said it was okay because Zach and them weren't coming. So that's already like 4 obstacles she put in front of me. So now everything's like, all right. And I had mentioned somewhere in the fight that like Ryan's mom didn't know he drinks. And then like she comes upstairs and she's like, all right, like this party's over. Like it's not happening. Like Ryan's mom doesn't know that she drinks. Ryan's
I'm a
he
guy.
drinks.
Thanks.
I'm a
Yeah.
guy, you idiot.
Doesn't know that he drinks, and like that's a big problem. And I'm like, I don't want this at my house anymore. Like this is bad. Like I'm gonna get sued. I'm gonna lose my job. Blah blah blah. Just the same. I heard the same argument a million times, and it was just pissing me off. So at this point, I like get on the phone with Ryan. I'm like, listen, like I have no idea what to do. Like I've already been through 4 obstacles, and she just keeps moving the finish line. And like what? Like I'm like, Mom literally said, if this happens, like it's never happening at this house again. Like she is so paranoid that she is like, I'm literally gonna go get a hotel room. Like I don't want to be here.
Wow.
Like I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to lose my job. And I'm like, are you freak? You're out of your mind. So I call Ryan. I'm like, listen, like this is it. We're never having a party here ever again. I'm like, would you consider telling your mom just because this is never gonna happen again? So like you might as well. And he's like, well, your mom keeps kind of moving the finish line. So, like, I want to find out what's going to happen first. And I was like, well, you need to tell your mom, and I need to call Luke's mom and tell her that that's what we'd be doing. So whatever, I go out to my dad, and I tell him, I'm like, listen, like, he's out in the shed. He's fixing up the shed because he's stuck in the middle of this because, like, whatever. Like, he wants me to have this. My mom doesn't.
He was fighting for you in the beginning.
Yeah, but then he was just appeasing her because she's like crazy. So then like I go out to the shed. I'm like, listen, and he's like, what? Like I don't want to hear about this anymore because like he had heard it the second he walked in the door, and he had like 5 missed calls while he was fixing my car by himself, and like it was just annoying, and like he'd been hearing about it for the last 2 days anyway. So I go out to the shed, and I'm like, listen, here's the situation. So nobody's coming except for the people that were here last time and Luke. What if Ryan tells his mom? What if I tell Luke's mom? And he's like, I'd be okay with it. Just let me talk to mom. So now there's literally like, I don't know what more rules you could put into place. Like, honestly, like what she wants at this point is a signed permission slip. And like,
Which is not going to happen.
He goes into the den and like, he tells my mom, and my mom goes, I just don't want it at my house. And I'm like, I hear that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Because it's like 5 o'clock right now. And I'm like, are you kidding? No, it's like 4:30.
No, it's not that late. It wasn't that late.
It's 4:15, 4:30-ish.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
I'm like,
was this on the day of?
Saturday. This
Yeah.
is the Saturday,
Dylan, this on the day of?
Yeah, day of.
This had
So,
to have been like way earlier than that because you texted me around like 1 o'clock at work, like asking me to use it.
No, he texted
Use
you
my hand.
before.
no, I think it was at like 4.
He texted you before most of this happened just to see if there was a possibility of that.
No,
and to give
I
you,
think.
and to give
wait,
you time. Yeah, you texted them early in the day.
hold on, let me.
Hold on, I have the text up right now.
Oh, I texted you this at
Okay.
at 3:40. It was like
3:40, yeah,
close to
you're
4
right.
o'clock.
All right.
So anyway, so it was like close to 4 o'clock. Now here's, so I had just heard that from my mom, and I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, you couldn't have just told me this at 10 o'clock this morning. Like, just, I don't want this at my house. All right, like, I've gone through so much crap all day.
Why couldn't she just tell you at the fucking beginning?
Yeah, instead of just like continuing to move the finish line until it got to that point. Like that pissed me off so much. And I'm like, fuck you. Like,
Why didn't you get the hint? Yeah.
like I was so pissed. And like at this point, I'm just like, oh my God, like I've been trying to plan this for so long. Like Like, I set up the basement. I've wasted so much time. Like, I just want this to happen. Like, and at this point, like, you had already, like, asked me a million times to come play ping pong. And I was like, I knew I was just wrecking your day. I'm like, I need to have this party. Otherwise, this day is just going to be ruined. So I text Frank, I text Sherry, and I text Neelan. And I'm like, please, somebody let me use your house. I know this is so rude, but, like, let me just use your house. Sherry's like, okay, I'll call my mom. Her mom said no. Neelan's like, listen, like, if you would have asked me a couple hours ago, I would have said yes. Like, this is too late notice. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay. So Frank is like, oh yeah, like, it's my brother's birthday tomorrow. Like, I guess we'll have like a dual celebration. His friends will come over, and, like, we'll just do that. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So this is
Party on!
Party on. Go
so
ahead.
he tells me this. So I asked him, and he's like, I don't know, dude. I'd have to ask since it's such short notice. And I said, I know. I'm sorry about that. And he goes, okay, what time? And I go, 8. And then I needed to wait for. He was at work, but he got home from work at like 5, so he needed to wait till then to, like, call his parents or ask his parents, I guess. So then at, like, whatever, at like 5:15-ish, I guess, he, like, calls me and he's like, all right, listen, like, it could happen at my house. Everything's good. And I'm like, oh, thank God. But now it's 5:15 and Sherry's friend, who was supposed to get us all the alcohol, like, she never got it and stopped answering Sherry. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what else? What else? So I have to like text Brianna, and I text her and I'm like, I need this. Like, just please do me a favor. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever, as long as you pick me up. So I pick her up. We go to one liquor store, and, like, I wanted the 151, I wanted the Pinnacle, I wanted Long Island iced tea, and I wanted root beer float Smirnoff. She's like, they don't have root beer float Smirnoff, and they don't have the Long Island iced tea Captain Morgan's brand. She's like, they have another brand though. And I was like, well, I wanted a low end tier to be the Long Island iced tea, so make sure that is, like, below, like, 35 proof. Or at 35 or below. And if it is, get it. If it's not, get Hypnotic instead. Comes back out, she has both. And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, whatever, I don't fucking care. So we go to this beer dock, and, like, they have a bunch of beer, and there's a liquor store next door. So we go into the liquor store. I'm like, do you have the root beer? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, so right now I have the Pinnacle, I have the 151, and I have the Hypnotic and the iced tea. So we go into the beer dock. We get Blue Moon, we get Reds, we get
Red's Apple Ale for those
Mike's
listening at
variety
home.
pack. What?
Red's Apple Ale for those listening at home.
Red's Apple Ale, Mike's Hard Lemonade variety pack, and Blue Moon. So we get all that stuff, and now it's like, I want to say it's about 5:45 right now, and I had called Ryan earlier at Taco Joe's, and I was like, please get me a card. Please print one out, whatever. Like, I don't have time for this. So he printed one out, whatever. So at this point, I have all the beer. I text Davis, and I'm like, listen, like, we need
a cake.
We need a cake, and we need to, like, put this card together. So, like, we rush to the bakery. Right, it's like across from Numa's flower thing. And so we go in there, like, we're looking at cakes, like, nothing really looks too good. I'm like, what's buttercream? And the girl's like, it's buttercream. And I'm like, okay, you moron. Like, whatever. I guess we'll just take the giant cupcake thing. Like, you want anything written on it? I was like, happy birthday, Luke, ? Like, I don't even know if this is happening. So then, like, we get that. We go back to Davis's place, sign the card. He's like, you want to lick it? And I was like, no, you can lick it. And then he just pulls off a tab that makes it sticky. And I was like,
this is the envelope that we're talking about here. Not the
yeah. Oh yeah, the envelope for the card.
I assumed that.
This is such a stupid.
All right, so now it's like I'm probably getting the times a little wrong. I want to say it's like 5:55 right now. And I'm like, I'm back at my house, and I'm like, oh crap! Like now, like Luke, you already said I want to go. At this point, I had already said like I'm sorry, I only have 2 hours. Like you need to choose between Captain America or dinner. You said dinner, but you said you wanted to go to dinner at like freaking 5:30. Now it's almost 6, and I'm like, crap! I have all this stuff at my house. It needs to get to Frank's, which now in hindsight, I could have just brought it to Frank's after we went to dinner, but I didn't.
Like you could have just had it in your trunk, and I would have never known.
I had most of the
Yeah.
stuff in my trunk when I went to your house.
So what happens is like I grab everything, just rush to Frank's, give him everything, and I tell him the situation. I tell him, I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
So
And
Frank was home?
Yeah.
Why
yeah,
didn't he?
but
Why
he
couldn't-
was busy. He was busy.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so
Like I had a lot of like chem homework due and shit, so I had to sacrifice one of them.
So I tell Frank, I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. I'm like, we're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and
We're gonna lock the
gonna
keys in the
eat and
car.
stuff. Shut up. We're not gonna lock the keys in the car. That was by accident.
Hell yeah, that
We're
was
gonna
all
lock
the
the keys
fun.
in the car. We're not gonna notice till after.
So
Yeah, we couldn't notice halfway through the meal enough.
shut up, man. So then what happens is, so I tell him we're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, like my 2 hours are up, like I need to go, and I'm gonna go home. Ryan's gonna tell some lie that he needs to go home. Luke's gonna be home by himself, and
Right.
like everything's gonna be terrible. And then I'm gonna like lie and say that I snuck out and like we're gonna go see Captain America, but we need to pick you up. So like when he comes to the door, like everyone be at the door, like happy birthday. So I tell him that, and he's like, all right. So like me and Davis all like throw our stuff in Frank's room or whatever, and like we bolt. And like I'm like, right now we're both at Frank's house, and I needed it to be like a little believable that like we weren't together. So I like freaking floor it to your house in the Mustang, and like I get there first. Like I ended up getting there like 5 minutes before Davis, and like you were in the
I
backyard.
took the back roads.
Oh
I took my time.
Wait, Davis was coming to my house?
I went to
yeah,
your house.
this was about when we were about to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Me and Dylan left Frank's house at the same exact time.
Oh.
Yeah, we left Frank's house at the same
No,
time.
Ryan got
I
there
need-
first.
No, I got there first.
No, Dylan.
'Cause
got
we were playing Frisbee in the yard.
Wait. Ryan said he was downloading freaking Project M,
I was doing that before I left.
but you
But
just said
he
you were
was-
doing it now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
So we left at the same time, but I ended up getting there like 5 minutes before. We go into your backyard. We're playing Frisbee. I tell the lie about like the weed stuff. Like my story's a little shaky, and you're like kind of picking up on it. And then like I'm telling Ryan, and then like I tell him like a slightly different story, and like you didn't pick up on it. Like when you asked me, you're like, I thought you said
Your mom found it.
your mom found it, and I was like, she did. Whatever.
And
I
then,
thought you
then you said, my dad had to take my car, so I took it out of my car, and that's how my mom found it. You like almost tied the two stories together.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think what I told you originally, Luke, is that my mom found it in my room.
Yeah.
What I told Ryan was that my dad found it.
No,
and then
you said it was underneath your clothes because you had to take it out of your car because your dad was taking the Mustang, and so you put it underneath your clothes because you didn't feel like hiding it or whatever, and your mom moved your laundry and found it.
Yeah. But when I told Ryan that my dad found it in the glove compartment.
Yeah.
And then when you called me out on it, I like hybrided the two stories, and I said my dad found it in the glove compartment and put it up in my room, and then like
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I lied to you about that, whatever, and then like whatever. We were sitting in the yard, we were just throwing around the Frisbee, but I knew we needed to be to Frank's, and I knew there was gonna be a long wait, so I was like, oh yeah, guys, like I have that 2 hour like limit, like we need to go. So then we get in my car. No, we go to get in my car, and we're like
The
looking
gas
at the
cap's
mods on it, and I open the fuel door, and I notice the fuel cap isn't there. So whatever. We get in my car, we go to that the Gulf station, and they're closed. So I'm like, I don't want to drive this. So I go back home, and like I was supposedly I wasn't supposed to be driving the Mustang. So like I was like, oh yeah, dude, I stole it. Like stole it from myself, I guess. So we like go back. We like go back
We
into
got
my
'em.
like driveway, and we like all just like get out and run to the Pontiac, get in, like speed off down the road. And that's the part where I was like, oh, I forgot the cable to like play our iPods. Like, do you want to go back and get it? And you're like, no, are you retarded? Your parents are gonna kill you. I was like, oh yeah. Anyway.
Thanks, Luke.
Oh yeah.
So then we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings, right? And literally like I'm so like disgruntled, I guess, from like everything that's been happening all day, and I'm like trying to like make sure that like the party is gonna happen and that like I don't blow my cover. So like I take like the wrong exit, and like now we're
Twice.
by my school.
Twice.
And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just get on to that road. And then I get
Get
back
back
onto the parkway.
going the other way now.
I get back onto the parkway going back the way we just came from. And like as I'm about to merge into the parkway, Ryan's like, you said like, I don't know, you said something like multiple times that should have like cued me to like not get on the parkway, but I like
I guess we're getting back on the parkway.
Yeah, that's what he said.
he said it like 3 times, but I just heard it as like white noise. So I get back on. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And you're
Yeah,
like,
but
I don't know. Why
I
didn't
guess
Davis
we're
just
Oh,
going-
drive?
Good thing I
So-
knew what exit we were on, and we could just get right back off.
We get to Buffalo Wild Wings, and you know everything's fine there. We talk about the story a few times. The whole time I'm like trying to text everyone. My phone has like 2% battery. Like it was just terrible. So
This phone died halfway
my
through.
phone died, and I was like, how am I gonna communicate with Katie and Sherry? But luckily you had Katie's number.
I don't have Sherry's number. I'm pretty sure I gave Sherry my number during the party, but I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
right, networking.
I don't know.
so anyway, then
Weird. I wasn't thinking straight.
we eat all of our stuff, and like we're getting served by like Cleopatra,
Oh.
whatever.
Cl-
And-
Oh man, do you remember that?
Corinthia.
No, it was Corinthia. No, we're not. That's at the party, Frank. We're not there yet.
So
No,
what
no,
happens is
I mean, hip hop.
we
Yeah, no, I kept guessing Cleopatra for that one girl's name. That's at the party though. That didn't happen.
so like we eat all of our stuff, and like we're about to leave. I'm like, awesome. Like Frank said, like he wanted it to be at like 8:45, 8 and 9 o'clock, and I was like, okay, we're gonna be on time. And I like go to grab my keys, and I feel that they're not there, and I know exactly what I did because I did it last week, and I'm just like, you're fucking kidding me. Like I'm like on the roof of my car trying to push my window open. Like I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah,
that's
it
what I was
looks like
trying
you were
to
trying
do.
to break into the car.
We were.
I know.
So whatever. At that point, I call my dad, and I'm like, listen, like I brought my key, like whatever, left my keys in the car. Can you come get me? He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm like, I've been telling Luke that like you're mad, like come and be mad. And he's like, all right. So he comes and he hands me the keys, and he goes, should I yell? And I start walking away, and like as I say, he says, should I yell? And I like just ignore it because like I don't want to like give it away. And I like take the keys and I start walking away, and he goes, yeah, you're fucking welcome. And like that's when I like go back, and like we were arguing back and forth, like, and I guess you didn't really notice though. So what was that for?
No, I noticed you arguing. I couldn't hear what you were saying though.
I thanked him for bringing the keys.
And I said, shut
And
the
you were
fuck
like, shut the fuck up.
I was just trying to I was playing the part of like just I'm so pissed off right now.
Yeah.
And I was playing it pretty well.
Yeah,
But anyway, what happened during that
That was
time,
so funny.
time.
in between when I called my dad and when he got there, is that Katie was like texting Ryan about like the party and the address and stuff. So like she texted Ryan, and Ryan showed me the phone to like just completely conspicuous. Completely conspicuous.
Yeah, no.
Shows me the phone.
She asked if you wanted to pick us up. If she wanted us to come pick us up.
Whatever.
Something
And
like that. And
so he just shows that to me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Because at this point, like I had already like we were in like that weird like takeout area of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And like I said I needed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like I was trying to make eye contact with Ryan, like point him to the bathroom so I could like figure out what was going on, tell him to text Katie. And like I kept like
Oh, I thought you wanted me
my
to go.
eyes in that direction. I didn't think Ryan was like getting the hint. So
I
like
thought you wanted me to go to the bathroom.
so like he was I didn't think he was getting the hint to come to the bathroom. So like your back was to me and I like point over to the bathroom and like as soon as I start pointing, you look around. You turn around to see me pointing.
Funny
And
enough,
at that point you're like, "What?" And I'm just like, "The nigger over there."
Oh yeah! I was like, what the heck are you talking
you should have
about?
said, "Look at the hostess."
I was like,
That's what you should have
you?
said.
You're like, dude, the black guy. I'm like, what are you? Yeah, okay. What about him, dude? He's black.
You should
Yeah.
have been
Okay.
Anyway,
What
so I go
about-
into the bathroom, I'm like, God damn it. Like, Ryan didn't understand. Ryan shows up in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, so I'm like, please text Katie, tell her what's going on, whatever. And then, whatever, we're sitting back waiting for my dad. She texts him back. He shows it to me completely conspicuously.
I'm like,
you see it. You
this
see
was
that he's doing that.
the
And you go,
text
who's
sent-
that? Simultaneously, I go, my dad. He goes, my mom. And I'm like, oh, crap. Like, I've worked so hard and argued all day. Like, everything is ruined because you just talked, Ryan. Like, I was about to punch you in the face.
The text you sent me, I asked her to tell Sherry, and she's like, "I'm with her. What time do you think you guys will be there? Do you want us to pick you up?" So I'm like,
Whatever.
maybe
So-
she should come and pick us up. That's what I'm thinking. It's like
At that very point, when we both said something different and you called us out on it, and you're like, well, who is it?
it's like
At that point, I couldn't think of anything. Like,
Neither
if
could
you didn't go and grab Ryan's phone and see that it was Katie, I had nothing. Like, I had no idea what to say. And you're like, why are you texting Katie? And, like, right then it, like, clicked. I was like, I'm having sex with her. Like, that's the answer. That's the answer. I'm like, dude, like, I'm sorry, but, like, while you've been away, like, me and Ryan got a little bit closer, and, like, I'm texting Katie, like, we're doing some stuff, and whatever, and you're like, what? And you're like, tell me in the car. So my dad comes, we get in the car, whatever. So we're driving home. Like you said, I was, like, trying to divert the story, and then, whatever, we're on our way back. I tell you, Luke, that, like, me and Katie have been hooking up and fucking and all this stuff. And you're like, what? And you're like grossed out and like kind of not believing me, but like similar situations has happened before. So I guess you are kind of believing me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like we get home. We're following my dad and you're just like, dude, like he's making sure we go home. I'm just like, no, we're just following him. And anyway,
Why were you following him?
because I go the same way home as him.
let's just drive a different route. To the
No,
same
but he
place.
left like a few minutes before us.
Well, I drive faster than my dad.
No, it was-
Anyway,
it
so
was obvious we were going the same route. You were dropping me off.
yeah, so then I drop you off, and whatever. Ryan leaves. I call him, and like I'm like, okay, are you at Frank's? And he's like, yeah, I'm at Frank's. So now I'm waiting for Katie to get there. So and then I like a thought comes into my head. I'm like, get everyone's cars out of the front of Frank's house. Like it's gonna ruin the whole thing. So like they move their cars and whatever. So now it's like
No. Katie moved her car just up the block. So you passed it on the way there. It's like
I didn't.
yeah,
I
but
wasn't
we
paying
were going so
attention at all.
fast you didn't notice it.
Not even that. I was focused on getting Frank in the freaking car.
Yeah. So anyway, so now it's like whatever time it is,
10.
and like half an hour goes by, and because like Katie, well, 20 minutes. Katie like went to go get Sherry, and then like
They
or,
took
or
them-
something along the lines, and then they both come to Frank's house. They tell me, and I'm like, okay, like game on. Like this, everything is finally falling into place. Like thank fucking God. Like seriously. Anyway, so then that's when I'm like, okay. So I call you and you're not answering. I call you on Skype. You're not answering. I'm like, please tell me like he wasn't upset and like went in the shower or something. Like I'm gonna cry.
Wait, me?
No.
No, Luke.
Oh,
So
Luke.
I call your mom, and no, actually the part I missed was when you came home and like no one was with you. Like your mom kind of I told your mom what was going on, but like not the full thing, so she was kind of left in the dark a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you came home, she texted me and she goes, I guess the party's off. Like it was the thought that counts. Like thanks anyway. And I'm like, and I text her back and I'm like, no,
Don't tell
like,
him.
please tell me you didn't tell Luke. And she's like, oh no, like I guess it's still on. Like my lips are sealed. And I'm like, thank God. So anyway, then I call her and I like tell her to put you on the phone. I'm like, dude, I'm outside my house right now, coming to your house. I snuck out, going to see Captain America. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Well, yeah. Like my day has sucked so much. Like finally something good. So I get to your house, like you rush into the car and I'm like, dude, we got to go get Frank though. Like movie starts in like 5 minutes. Like floor it to Frank's house. I make it believable. I'm like rushing, like pull up in front of his house and I'm like, dude, go get him. And like, it was under my impression that everyone would be at the door because I gave them ample time. And
no,
like when they were
fucking Katie and Sherry are just in Frank's room. And I'm like, come on, like go stand in the door. They're like, what? What? You want me to move? I'm like, fuck.
yeah,
That's
so
why
you're
there was
just
a
waiting there, whatever, and like I didn't know what was happening.
Continues giving record.
Okay, Frank, I can hear that.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Oh.
at that point, like I see you just waiting at the door. I'm like, what is going on? Like I figure I'll wait at the door with you. So I shut the door and like I go and park really quick, and then I come back and like you like they already had like said surprise and whatever, and you just look at me and you're like, what? And yeah. That's basically, now we're up to speed. You told your story, I told my story.
Oh my
Finally,
gosh. I had no I had
You
no
should've
idea what was
known.
going on the whole time.
There were so many fucking slip-ups.
When it happened, I was like, oh, he was probably planning it like this whole time at Frank's house and everything went perfectly.
Nope. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. There was so much that went into this.
I can't believe it happened, dude.
Neither can I.
If you would have given up, like that would have been so terrible.
And at 5 o'clock when my mom like said like, no, you can't have it here, finally, that was the point where I was like, I need to have it somewhere because I've been blowing off Luke all day and this is just the worst. Like, I know exactly how he feels right now and it sucks. So, yeah. So now, whatever, we go in and party time. I guess, do you want to take over? Because I've been talking for 45 minutes. The worst part is I haven't even been, like, thinking about it. Like, I've just been talking for the that's how much went into this. 45 minutes of speech.
Well, now comes the interesting party.
Yes, the party. So when I opened the door, Ryan's just standing there with a bottle of Cotton Candy Pinnacle, and I said to Dylan, probably like a few months ago, I said, the only time I'll ever drink is if you get me that, the Cotton Candy Pinnacle. And he's like, okay, really? And I said, yes. And then so I knew if the time ever came that it would happen, but I had no idea it was going to be that night. And so he's just there. I'm like, you got it? He's like, yep. I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
You were thrilled about that, weren't you?
Your Breaking Bad shot glass.
Not at first, but like after I saw how much work was into it, I was like, I have to do it. It wasn't even peer pressure at that point. It was like myself pressuring myself.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that. You fucking peer pressured you into doing it. All right, so let's go into it. So you got the card.
Yes, that's right. Dylan comes over, hands me the card. I opened it.
Oh yeah, like I was so like I thought I told Ryan like hand it to Luke, like when like you open the door, but he like forgot where I told him where it was in Frank's house.
I forget again.
It was in the pillow. I literally put it in my pillow with you because Frank said, "Don't leave this here because Anthony will open it because his birthday's tomorrow and he'll think it's for him."
Now I remember that.
Do you not remember saying that, Frank?
Yeah,
I do. I remember that.
And then me and you went to his room and I put it in my pillow and I said, "It's right here." And you said, "Okay."
Got it.
Got it forever.
I was more worried about getting the cotton candy stuff. I think that was more important.
So anyway, whatever, like, at this point, like, I'm so happy that, like, you're so surprised and whatever. So, like, when we're at the table, like, I think Ryan mentioned the card, and I was like, oh, yeah. Like, because, like, you were so surprised already, and I was like, oh, here's your card. Like, and you're just, I guess at this point, I don't know what you thought it was.
I thought it was just like a card. I was like it was like really fat. I was like, what is this? And I open it up, and it's just Fall Out Boy tickets, and I'm just completely flabbergasted. I'm
For
like,
the second time in today.
but you said, but then then you said you hated them.
Yup.
And then you're like, happy birthday.
You're welcome.
That was amazing.
I like that card. Know what's better than getting money in a card? Fucking concert tickets.
Dude, that's custom made.
Was it really custom? You made it?
Yeah.
Wait, Ryan made it?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, I was in on this.
Yeah, so
I know you were in on it. I didn't know you made the card.
who wants to tell the story of the night?
I don't know where to
I'm
start.
writing an essay right now.
Okay.
All right, bye, Frank. Glad you were here for this. Glad you were here to listen.
I guess we'll start with the first one. Okay,
You
so
want me to start?
we take birthday shots. My first time ever.
And
No,
it's
we
the
cut the
Pinnacle.
cake first.
Pinnacle
Yeah.
Con-
Oh
Quick
yeah.
question.
Okay. So I bring
What was in your
what?
mind while you were taking a shot?
This tastes like shit.
when I took it, you
Nope,
guys
good.
king?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I took it and I just felt my throat just burn. And I couldn't, like, I had to take it in 2 sips. I was like,
Did you really?
Ew,
First
Oh my
ever.
God, Luke.
no, like I put the whole thing in my mouth, but I only swallowed half of it.
Oh,
no.
It was like in
no.
my mouth for a little bit
When you
longer.
take a shot like that, you're not
Oh.
really supposed to let it like sit in your mouth. You're just
No,
supposed
like
to
my
swallow it.
epiglottis like
right
shut
away.
up. My
Ugh.
epiglottis like just shut it, and I was like, I have to
Ugh.
finish this now.
I have a
And it just
bad
made it like
experience.
doubly worse.
I have such a
It
bad
shut up
experience.
my throat, and it just wouldn't open. I was like, I'm gonna choke.
Dylan, you know how you feel about Hypnotic now? That's how I
Yeah.
felt about Pinnacle. It's like, oh. So,
And
We
so
gotta-
anyway, so we
Oh,
hand him the card, and then we're like, all right, well, then I'm like, we're staying here, so we go back to your house to get your stuff,
Right.
and like you're like the whole time you're just asking me all the questions. You're like, dude, like, is this real? Is this real? Is my life a lie? Is this happening?
And then I
Like,
said, dude, you have to explain this to my mom. And you go, she knew about it. I was like,
you're like,
what?
what? Mom, no!
Oh my!
And like, then you go downstairs before I'm downstairs, and like you asked her about it, and she still like tried to play it off.
yeah.
And then she looks at me, and I'm like, he knows. And then she goes, I knew about it.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, I know. She goes, what are you talking about? I know about the party. What do you mean? I was just there. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Dylan goes, yeah, he knows. And then,
Yeah.
like
So
I was
she's
obviously
devoted.
knew about it.
So we come back, and then like we get the cake out, and I'm like, okay, Luke's birthday boy, I got to make the first slice.
I
And
set up Project
we
Emma.
were like, want to sing Happy Birthday? Everyone sing a different birthday song.
Everyone
Yeah.
sang.
No, no,
Yeah, you
Everyone
sang the
sang a
Friendlies,
different
Dylan. I
voice.
mean, Ryan sang the Applebee's one, didn't he?
I
sang
sang
the
Friendlies, he
Applebee's
sang
one,
Applebee's. Everyone else like tried to sing the regular one.
yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, happy birthday. Literally, and then the cake we spent money on, like I had a slice, you had a slice, and that was it.
No, it's
Let's
at
make
my
a
house
note.
now.
We sang that birthday, like happy birthday so bad, we hadn't had anything to drink at that point. It was just that bad. God.
Anyway, so then
So Anthony's brother was having a boner with the Project M, which I set up while Luke and Dylan.
Frank's brother?
Frank's brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Frank's not here anymore. Yeah. So
No, Frank's here.
when they had so many fucking people there.
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
So we had the first shot.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, we got to take shots, like the birthday shot, whatever. It's got to be the Pinnacle because that's what Luke wanted. And the reason I had bought like lower end tier stuff is because I knew you would hate the Pinnacle. And I knew that you wouldn't want to drink anymore. And I was like, I need to get lower end stuff so Luke will drink it. That was literally my plan the whole time.
Sure.
I didn't plan on getting Hypnotic. I thought it'd just be Long Island iced tea, but it ended up that way. So we take the shot, like we're like, okay, whatever. We all like dink our glasses, and like we all take it down. Like us, like we've had Pinnacle before, so we're like, okay, that does like. Well, first you smelled it, and it smelled great. It smelled like cotton candy.
Yeah.
Then we take it, and then it just tastes like crap. Your face is just priceless, Luke. I think Katie recorded that, and I want to see it because.
Oh, I think she did.
Did she record it?
No, Sherry did.
Someone did.
Whoever, that was priceless.
Sherry
No,
has so many
Katie did because she was the only one not drinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Katie who recorded it.
Yeah.
So yeah, your face was priceless, and it was just like this, and you're just like, that was terrible, and I'm like, yep, I know.
We're all like,
So
yep.
then whatever. Then I'm like, do you want to try the Long Island iced tea? So we all take a shot of iced tea. Like you're still like grossed out, and you're like, have you ever had this before? And I'm like, no. So you let us all take a shot. We all take it. And we're like, oh, it's good. It doesn't even taste like anything. You're like, okay, I want one. So I pour you a shot, and I'm like, you're going to have it by yourself? And you're like, no, everyone have it with me. So
That's not what happened. No. This was 11:30. We poured all of them. Luke didn't have one poured yet. And
It
then
wasn't 11.
Katie,
We wasn't 11:30.
Yeah,
It was like
no.
10:30.
whenever Katie had to go home.
Katie had to go home at 11. It was like 10:45.
So she's like, I need someone to walk me to my car. What happened when I was walking her to her car?
Oh, okay. This is what happened. We poured the Long Island iced tea in everyone's shot glasses except for Luke's. Katie's like, I need to leave.
Yeah.
So will someone walk me to my car? And everyone's like, fuck no, we want to take a shot. And Davis is just like, whatever, I'll be the gentleman. So he walks her to her car. Like, did you guys even say anything to each other?
Yeah, no. I was joking around about like, what am I gonna do? He brought me. What am I gonna do? Fuck you.
Anyway,
Okay,
so
what happened while I was gone?
while you're out in the car, we literally did nothing. We didn't do anything, but
No, you
Frank,
said let's.
Frank suggests,
Oh, that was Frank.
he goes,
How many shots in one?
dude, we should swap out his iced tea with 151 because it looks the same.
That would have been evil.
And somebody convinced us like that is not a good idea.
Thank you.
I did.
Thank you.
Whoever
that somebody
because Dylan's like, oh, we should, and then Davis is like, yeah. I'm like, no, don't fucking do it.
Oh my
You will
god.
completely break him and ruin him.
Yeah.
No, like if he took
That
it, he
would've-
would probably spit. He would probably spit it. I don't even, actually. No, he wouldn't spit it out.
No, I wouldn't have spit it out, but I would have been.
It was burnt enough that he would spill. You would spit it out.
No, I don't think I would have spit it out. Maybe I would have because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I wanted to like taste it. All right, whatever.
The point is it would have been the worst shot of your life because you wouldn't have been expecting it. And you would have thought it was going to be Long Island iced tea.
It's just.
So whatever. And then he said, like, okay, I don't really do that, so we didn't. And then we literally didn't do anything until you came
Thank
back
you,
and we took the
Frank.
shot.
Thank
So
you.
then we all take the shot, and then Luke is like, okay, I want to take one. I say, do you want to take it by yourself? And he's like, no. So he's taking the Long Island iced tea, and at this point I'm like, let's crack open the 151. And we all have the 151. He has
This
the
is
Long
when it
Island
gets
iced tea.
stupid. This is when shit starts to go down. All right, let's go.
So we all have that. Oh, wait. Mind you that the first shot, we all chased with that Red's Apple Ale, including Luke.
That stuff was good though.
Yeah.
It was
Hey.
apple seltzer.
If we were doing it with the Pinnacle, with the Platinum, that wasn't bad.
Yeah. So that's that. And then so then we took the 151 and then we played beer pong, right?
Yeah, it was me and Frank against you and Luke. That was the first game.
And then we won.
Yep.
And then it was
Me and Sherry. That
did we
first
win
game,
Island Cup that game?
No, you guys won Island
no,
Cup.
Yeah, you guys won. I don't.
No, he
think
got Island
I-
Cup, then we got Island Cup.
No, that was
We
the
went to overtime.
You're ruining it. You are ruining it.
What?
The first game with me and Frank, I think you guys just won standard. There was no Island Cup or anything. Then
No, there was
like,
I never won standard. I called Island Cup both times.
All right, then you guys won with the Island Cup. and
So I
then
won with Island Cup first time, and then we played the second time against.
me and Sherry.
I think we lost.
No, we.
No.
we
Let
won
me tell
again.
this story. I know this story.
Okay.
We've had the same amount at this point, Dylan, so you just are retarded. So me and Sherry get up, and I get one in. You know, Sherry gets one in. Now we have an island cup. I think you guys got one in at this point. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna call it. I just call the island shot, get it in. It's like, yeah, we just won. Luke goes. Luke misses his shot, and then Dylan just makes one in. No, he sinks one, and then he made an island by getting that one in, and he's just like, I'm gonna call it. Island Cup, and Frank's like on the side, being the wonderful ref that he was. I don't know if he remembers that.
Oh yeah,
I do.
And
he goes,
so,
I'll allow it. No, wait. Didn't he make some stupid argument first?
Yeah, he did. I don't remember.
Probably.
He made some stupid argument. So Dylan calls the island, shoots it, gets it in. It's like, what?
So we had overtime.
So we had overtime. So Sherry goes, she missed, and then I got 2 in after that. And then I think Luke missed, and then Dylan, you got 1 in, and then you missed the second.
Yeah, and then we lost.
So we won. At this point, Sherry was bothering me about what you had said about Katie.
Oh, yeah.
So I promised Sherry, I'm like, all right, if you take another shot at 151 with me, I'll tell you what Dylan said. That was a mistake, taking that second shot. So, Luke, I think you should pick up because this is where I start to lose a little bit of memories.
Same.
So, yeah, basically my objective was, now that I had no judgment, well, I had judgment. I knew what I was doing. But
I think
no, hold on. So, wait, hold on.
I remember. We forgot something. The first game that was me and Frank, you did call Island, and there were so many cups on the table, we're like, we're not going to drink for all those cups. Me and Frank, let's just take another shot of Pinnacle. So
I told you guys to take another shot of Pinnacle.
Oh my god, that's fucking tough.
Wow, you did drink more than me.
I drank a lot. At one point we had a shot of Hypnotic. I think that was after.
We all did that. Yeah.
Yeah. We all did.
After the beer pong game, I opened the Hypnotic bottle, which we couldn't figure out how to open because it was a cork.
Was it a cork?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like Dylan's trying to spin it open. I just take it from him, pull the cap right off, and he's like, "Oh," like literally like that for some reason.
Did it go like?
Yeah, it made the noise.
Awesome.
So then we all took the shot of Hypnotic, and then it just went downhill from there.
And me and Cherry had that second shot of 151, and then
after beer pong,
Then this is the last bit I remember, and then Luke could pick it up from there. So after the Hypnotic shot, like they took the 151 shot, I saw them take that, and the Hypnotic bottle was still open. Now, Hypnotic is one of my favorite things to drink because it's like fruity and it gets you whatever, it gets you drunk.
No.
A lot of it, and it tastes good.
What happened is me and Sherry had the shot of the 151 first. I don't know what happened. Then we went down into Frank's room because I was going to explain what you said about Katie. And then we came back up, and that's when you had opened the Hypnotic, and that's when we took a shot of it. And then we started playing another game, where I think Luke sat out this one.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't finish the game.
I don't really remember that. The only part I remember from that is I took Hypnotic, and I just started drinking it from the bottle. And then, like, I think Luke said, like, let me have some or something.
So you said, do you want some? I said, sure, and I took it.
Oh, so then I passed it to him, and then we were all just passing it around until it was done, I guess.
No, we didn't.
No.
It was like half empty, and then we're like, let's go play Project M. Because I had taken like a half hour. I took like the whole day trying to download it, and then I spent like 10 minutes trying to set it up at Frank's house. So we started passing around the bottle. And then it was like mostly empty, and I'm just holding it. It's like, oh, it's just so bad. I don't like the taste of it. I'm sorry, Dylan.
I do.
So I'm just like, let's go play Project M. Like let's go play that. Let's go play Guitar Hero because I brought all that shit over.
Oh, Guitar Hero!
Never made it to that.
No.
You didn't have the fucking game. I didn't bring it.
Really?
Well, Luke.
Yeah, we had all the guitars, not
Frank
the game.
has it. Frank has it.
Oh, well, he has Guitar Hero 2. That's it.
No, Frank, you have Warriors of Rock, right?
I do.
For his birthday 2 years ago.
Oh.
A year ago. So this is where I just like forget. I remember sitting on Frank's bed, like on top of Sherry, trying to play Project M. And Dylan, you were there too. You were just staring at the controller, trying to figure out what button was which. Luke was sitting next to me, trying to play, and I'm just on top of Sherry. Sherry has a controller. She's like, I don't know what to do. And she just hands it over to Luke.
Now I have two
He's got
controllers in my hand.
controllers. Needless to say, I won that game somehow. And this is where I forget.
Where's the Hypnotic at this point?
Me and Sherry finished it at this point.
I don't know. I either am a lightweight or I feel like I had a lot of that just because I like it.
You and Luke had a lot of that. I didn't have much. I had like 2 or 3 swigs of it. I did not.
From what I remember before, like, I lose it, is that, like, I remember taking, like, more than a shot when I, like, would drink it from the bottle. Like, I was, like, drinking it like it was water.
This is bad. Stupid.
I like it so much.
Okay, so...
Anyway, so okay, I guess Frank's asleep at this point. We're in his room
Frank's
playing
asleep.
Project M, supposedly. I vaguely remember touching buttons. That's really it. I guess Ryan loses at this point, so I guess, Luke, it's up to you to finish the story.
Okay, I forget if we were in the basement yet, but I'll just skip to that part.
No, don't skip that part.
I'll skip to that part. Because I think...
How did we get there?
I remember...
We walked
finished-
downstairs.
I kind of remember this. We finished the game of Project M, and, like, Sherry wasn't playing. Dylan had, like, wandered off somewhere. I think he was talking to Frank at this point.
Oh, I know what happened.
What?
No. I'll reveal it when you start revealing stuff.
At some point, I was talking to Sherry. I don't know if Luke was sitting there or not. And, oh, God. I couldn't figure out how to get the game started again.
Hold on, wait.
I thought
Actually, do you just want to put this together in, like, chronological order, and I'll just reveal it now?
Yeah.
Me and Sherry are making out.
I don't remember ever seeing us
When
leave.
did that happen?
I apparently after we went out of the room, because Sherry texted me that, she's like, we were making out. I was like, oh, I don't remember that.
Like, at one
And
point,
then,
she asked me, like,
hold
"Were we
hold
making
on.
out?"
Yeah, no, we were making out.
She asked me that, too.
What?
She asked me if we were making out.
If who was?
Me and her.
She asked you?
She asked me that, yeah.
Did you guys?
I don't know.
Yes!
I don't know.
Oh my God,
Yes!
I really don't know. I know at one point we were together.
No, hold on. When did
No one
she
else was
ask you
there.
that?
This was like after we were throwing out.
You guys.
No, me and her hooked up in the hallway, like right by his stairs, like where you threw up on the wall.
Just right there.
And then I wasn't too sure about this because Sherry told me, she's like, oh yeah, we made out. Then Frank today sort of sealed the deal with what I asked him. Frank, you want to
Oh
add?
yeah, no, Frank.
So I'm passed out on the couch around like 12:30, and then about an hour, half an hour later, sometime in that time frame, Dylan wakes me up and says, "Frank, wear your condoms."
You remember this?
And I'm like,
Oh my
dude,
God.
keep in mind, like I'm able to think now, and I really don't want to deal with this. I'm like, dude, I left them at my girlfriend's dorm. Leave me alone. And then he wouldn't stop asking me, so I literally had to shove him off of me so that I can go back to sleep.
Wait, Dylan, do you remember this at all?
No,
Not even a little?
not at all.
Wow.
You're kidding.
I really don't remember this too much. There are so many parts that don't add up together.
Honestly, that was hilarious when you said that.
Said what? When I asked him?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, because
don't
that was the
remember.
most random thing ever. I'm like, dude, you
What?
just woke me up and I have work in the morning to ask me if I have condoms, dude. Like, I
And
appreciate
You're
that.
at his house.
I
His
appreciate
parents are
that
there.
you're mind, even though you cannot
You're
think.
that guy. Hey, I'm at your house. Can I have your condom?
I have a
No,
conscience.
listen. I'm at least happy that, like, even in his state of not knowing what the fuck he's doing, he's still able to make a responsible decision like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And let me also point out, none of us were drinking any water throughout this whole
Nope,
night.
none of us.
None of us.
Water at all.
Was there
During
water
this-
in the house?
Yeah, during the
Yeah,
second game
there's
of beer
plenty.
pong, I was smart enough. I asked Kelly, I'm like, could you get me a water? Like, I know I'm going to need it later on. I drank, like, maybe a quarter of it and then just put it down and forgot about it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we left out the whole name guessing part.
No, that wasn't
we
really.
did.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if it's something worth mentioning.
Whatever. Anthony's friends were coming into the room while we were playing beer pong, and they were girls, and we were guessing their names or getting them wrong.
We just
One
guessed
girl's
our
name was
girl.
April.
What, do you remember
Yeah,
the
that's the only
girl?
one I remember is April.
There was a Danielle, wasn't there?
Yeah, there
Oh
was.
yeah.
Do you remember the
Oh,
one
yeah.
girl who's like, my name starts with a C? Dylan,
And I go, I can't say that word.
I was thinking the same exact thing, and I just started laughing. I'm like,
Cunt.
cunt.
Cynthia?
So Luke, that's the last thing I remember, and that's only because Frank told me. No, Sherry told me, and then.
Oh
Frank
wait, hang
told me.
on.
Damn.
I hope you've been recording this whole time.
Yeah, no. I accidentally started music. So
Oh.
okay.
Oh my god. So now I'm a little lost.
I'm
At some point, I see Sherry start walking downstairs. I think I was in Frank's room before this. And, oh my god, so weird. So now all of the four of us are downstairs. Frank is passed out upstairs. And Dylan is just lying on the ground. I passed out.
Ryan.
What?
Did you hook up with Sherry?
I don't know. I don't...
Luke, did
No.
Ryan hook up with Sherry?
I really don't remember Sherry ever leaving. So if you did, Dylan, it must have been really quick.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't know.
She asked me at one point during the night.
that makes sense.
Oh.
That's so random.
I don't know, but that sucks for Davis, because... Davis, have you ever kissed a girl? Like,
No, but
Imagine.
like, and be honest.
No, she...
So
I do
how
remember
do you
this.
feel
No,
that,
no, no.
no,
Wait,
that,
wait,
like,
I
your
do
first
remember this.
kiss, you don't even remember?
I don't know if it happened. I do remember this. While we were playing Project M and I was passed out, I was literally, like, Sherry was sitting there and I was sitting right in front of her, like, leaning against her chest because I was just so, like, fucked up. And she
What
just... like,
chest?
yeah, her chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this part. And
You were laying on yourself?
I was laying on her because we were playing Project M. And then we were talking about that. She's like, you've never kissed a girl. And she just, like, fucking kissed me on the forehead or something. I remember that.
Something?
Oh, no,
Are
no,
you sure?
dude. No, hang on.
Yeah.
She kissed me on the head too. I just remembered.
Fuck. I don't know.
Yes, she gets around.
Yes, she does.
I just remembered that.
It's not good. So,
Is Sherry
literally.
like that? Does she just, like, kiss anybody?
Sherry was...
No. Oh, that's. Remember I said I had to tell you something? Remember I said I had to tell you the story and I would say it for the podcast?
Yeah?
Okay, this is it. We're in the basement. And, like, I don't know if Dylan is either passed out on the ground. Yeah, Dylan's passed out on the ground. And...
this is the part that I need to apologize to Sherry for.
Oh, you remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the part I need to apologize.
Oh, God.
Please.
I
I
want
see
to
that. I wanna-
Okay, so something, I don't remember what was happening, but Ryan was, like, yelling at Sherry jokingly, and he just goes, Sherry, suck my dick. Sherry, just give me a blowjob. Let's just have sex.
Oh my god.
And then Sherry, no, the
That's-
best part is what Sherry said. Sherry goes, I'm drunk right now. I will. And I was like, oh.
Oh god.
The
I don't
heck?
remember that. I don't remember
She's like,
that.
she goes, like, I'm not kidding. I'll do it. I'm drunk. I'm like, okay, everyone just shut up.
Did she? Did she?
No, she didn't.
No, no.
Oh,
Fuck
come
you,
on.
dude. Fuck you. Yeah, I need to apologize to Sherry.
Oh,
for
my
that.
God. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you for going home.
Confirmed
So-
our shipping of
Fuck this shit.
Davis with Sherry is going as planned.
I will. I'm drunk.
Yeah, she kept saying that. Like,
She said that.
She was so drunk. Oh my god.
Oh
We
my
fit-
god.
At some point during this, me and her finished the bottle of Hypnotic. And yeah, now we're all downstairs. Frank's upstairs passed out. Dylan's lying on the ground. Sherry's lying next to her. And I'm sitting on the couch. I think that was when I was talking to Sherry about this. And then Luke just lies down next to Sherry. And I'm just like, fuck you, Luke. I just lie down right in between you and Sherry, Luke. It's like on top of both of you. I don't know how long we were
Frank, what is this?
I don't know. I just found that on the RuneScape subreddit.
Our Doin is so noob. They just waltzed into their zoo and shot all their fucking animals with my crossbow. His name is What Are You Doing?
Wazowski.
So, all right. So now is when we start to get to the serious part of this.
What serious part?
Start throwing up.
Oh.
So now it's Dylan, Sherry, me, and Luke in that order.
Okay, no. I
Passed out.
can't. Hold on. I can't be passed out at this part because I remember you throwing up
Do
in
you?
Frank's garbage.
Yeah.
Right next to the fridge. Right?
Did I throw up before that then? Oh my god, I don't even know. We need someone who's sober there to tell us what happens.
Fuck, man.
What do we do? So yeah, at one point, I think I told you this, Frank. I was at the bathroom door, and somebody was in the bathroom, and I knocked on the door. I'm feeling really sick at this point. And they're like, 1 minute. And as soon as I said 1 minute, I'm like, I can't wait 10 seconds. I just sprint up to the garbage that I knew it was there, even though I was so like gone. I knew it was there because the last 2 times ago when I was over there, I threw up all over Frank's wall because I had to rush to the bathroom instead of go to that garbage. So I go to the garbage and just start throwing up in there. You remember that, Dylan?
I remember you. Yeah, I remember that for some reason.
When was that? Oh my god! What the fuck?
This is so hazy.
This is so bad.
Luke, that's
So-
all you wanted to tell me? You were like, oh, I need
That's
to ask you
pretty
guys
bad.
if you remember stuff. That's the
That's-
only thing. I thought there were so many more things.
I remember saying
Uh,
something along those
well-
lines. I didn't know exactly what I said.
There
I don't
probably
remember
was more.
either.
Well, that was the main thing. That I,
All right,
Sherry, suck my dick. Just suck my fucking dick. Let's
Just
have
give me a
sex.
blow.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I will.
bad.
I'm drunk.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh.
Wow. I go to have sex with her and she can't have sex, so she gives Ryan head. Okay.
Or no, she didn't.
Wait, hold
I
on.
don't-
What did you say?
I really don't think she
I
did.
I go to have sex with her and then I pass out, so then she gives Ryan head. Okay.
No, I don't think she did.
I hope. He's like, I hope. I don't even
I-
know.
I kind of hope she didn't, but I don't know.
See, the terrible thing about that was I'm so glad Frank, like, regardless if he did have anything in his house or not, I'm so glad he said no because, first of all, I wouldn't have remembered
That's
a damn
a horrible
thing.
decision. I mean, like, you're sleeping with someone else already. No offense.
I would have had sex with, I would have took Sherry's virginity and not remembered it at all.
Yep.
We talked about
She's a
that too.
virgin.
Unless
Yeah,
you did it with
Yeah,
Dennis.
we talked. That's what
She
I had
didn't.
written on my. Frank, that's what I had written on my iPod earlier that I erased because I remember talking to Sherry and she's like, "No, I'm a virgin. Like, don't tell anyone. Like, it's a secret." It's like,
What's so
How
bad
is it a
about
I was
that?
like,
My
wait,
question.
what?
What? Why is that written on your iPod?
Because I didn't want to forget it. I'm like, whoa.
No, wait, Ryan
what
also
the
wrote
fuck's
something else on
this?
his
So that's
iPod.
vital information.
What did he write?
He wrote.
Uh,
He wrote.
Sherry is a virgin.
Why did you do this to me?
Yeah, I wrote Luke. It was supposed to be Luke said, but I wrote Luke Sale. Why? Why do you do this to me? I didn't close the quotation marks, but I did open them. And then
Oh.
I also wrote, I'm sorry for whatever I said to Sherry. 'Cause I knew I said something bad.
Did you apologize to her?
No, and I feel so bad. That's
I'm
why I
gonna
said,
send her this podcast.
Oh yeah, tell her to listen to all 2 hours of this.
dude, after
Yeah.
the,
This is
No,
the
no, no.
best
Tell her to go
podcast,
to the
I'm
last
sorry.
hour and a half because it's the only interesting part.
Dylan, I swear to God, in between. Oh, and she was taking snapshots for the entire night.
Snapshots,
Snapchats.
Snapchats.
I don't know, whatever the
That's
Snapshots.
I swear.
I know. I got 8 of them when I woke up.
Between the second game of beer pong, I swear to God, I gave her my number for some reason.
This
I
is
think
my number.
I
You're
I don't know if I put it in right. I don't know. So now the 4 of us are passed out in a line, right? Downstairs. And I feel it. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I gotta go. So I get up and I run to the bathroom. And I guess there was nobody in there, but whatever. I don't know when the first time I threw up was. So I start
We
throwing
haven't
up.
even gotten to the bad part yet.
No, we haven't. So I start throwing up in the toilet, and then Sherry comes up, and like I'm feeling a little bit better because I just thrown up, and she's like, I need to throw up. So I'm like, all right, just come in, like just whatever. I'm not gonna leave because I'm gonna need to throw up. She's like, no, you have to get out. I'm like, okay. I get out.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
why.
Like, she gets like so upset when she throws up. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, but then like later on in the night, it was just me and her were just sitting there next to the toilet like throwing up. So I don't know. It was so weird. So she came up, she went to the bathroom and started throwing up. And then I walked in when she was done and she's like, Dylan's throwing up downstairs. And that's when I'm like, oh shit. So Luke, I think now remember the 4 of us were sitting in a line and Dylan was right next to Sherry. So that's why Sherry woke up because Dylan started throwing up.
She said
Right
we were
next to
cuddling.
Yeah, you guys kind of were a little bit.
What is that in how?
You was like spooning.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it
Fuck.
had to have been spooning because the way that like the throw up was on the floor, it was like right next to the fish tank. So Dylan
Hold on.
must have been the one furthest to the.
Thank God for my penis and wanting to spoon, because if I was laying on my back, I would have fucking died.
Maybe you should
So
text Sherry and
I
tell her that
I don't
she
think
saved
we've
your
done this
life.
part justice. Let me
So
quickly
bad.
I was laying down, apparently, on my side, apparently, spooning with Sherry. And
The fuck?
basically, I was completely out at this point. Like, my memory, I have no idea how I got downstairs. When I woke up in the morning, I was surprised that I was downstairs. So apparently, Luke, I think you explained it, that, like, you heard, what did you say?
It's I heard like water flowing out. I'm like, oh, and then I heard like heaving noises. I'm like, oh, Dylan's throwing up. And I really didn't want to deal with it, so I tried to go back to sleep. It was like we had been asleep for like
An hour.
maybe like 45 minutes, and I was so tired, and we're just on the ground. No, I didn't even no. I had my pillow and like no blankets. We're just in our clothes, sleeping.
Yep.
And I just hear like, and I look over and just Dylan's mouth is sporadically opening. Stuff is coming out, and then it's shutting, and then it's opening again, and stuff is coming out. It was like, but he wasn't like moving at all. He was literally still asleep.
He was passed out, just throwing up.
It was like that scene from Breaking Bad, except he was on his side.
Oh my god.
Sherry said she, like, narrowly escaped getting hit with it.
She said so it got in her hair a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were throwing up. Me and Sherry were in the bathroom together, throwing up in the toilet. Luke was passed out on the couch next to Dylan throwing up. And
so
Frank was passed
freaking-
out
hold
upstairs.
on.
Wait, are you gonna tell him about last night?
No, let me
Oh.
just
Wait,
address
what
this.
happened last night?
Let me just address this one more time. Luke, you and Sherry were not. So did no way it got in her hair if you guys were together.
No,
She
no,
said
no.
it didn't.
No, she said it a little bit did. No, it was you. You were passed out all the way
No,
furthest.
we were
to
all in
the
a line.
end.
I didn't move to the couch till like everyone woke
Yeah,
up.
well, Davis said he wasn't there when I started throwing up.
I wasn't.
Sherry was though.
I was.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
looked over.
No,
Sherry,
I got up
Sherry
first,
was in
and then
between
Sherry
me and
came
you.
up. I went up to the bathroom first, and then Sherry came up after me and said I need to use the bathroom. What the hell?
Oh my
And-
god.
Yeah. So Sherry was trying to clean this up as best she could.
She was just trying to cover it.
She just put paper towels over it.
Just put
I
paper
saw
towels
it.
over it.
And I'm like, I'm not thinking straight in any way. I'm not going to do anything to help because I just can't. So now I'm like, all right, like, like wait for Dylan to stop, throw up whenever I need to. When he finally stopped, I'm like, I'm going to get all this
Did I
stuff.
throw up like a lot?
Yes.
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 It didn't stop.
It didn't stop. At this point, none of us are drinking water still, so it's just bad. We're just dry heaving at this point. So Dylan finally stopped. I'm feeling a little bit better. I have no idea what the hell Sherry is doing. I'm just like,
Hold on, no. I stopped and then you guys moved me?
yeah. No. You started. You were throwing up, and you, like, mostly finished. And, like, we got you to sit up, and I remember seeing you, like keeling over a garbage. Like, that little silver pail that's down there. It's, like, keeling over.
Oh, yeah.
So I did throw up in a garbage.
No, you were
No,
done by
no,
that time. You were just
dry
over
heaving.
it. Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, you finally stopped. I'm just like, all right. Like, I don't know where you got a sleeping bag from, because I said, fuck you.
No,
Like,
I gave him mine.
you gave him the sleeping bag. I'm like, fuck you. He's...
Did you wash that? Because you put that on me and I had to throw up on my shirt.
I did not wash it.
So, I go upstairs, I get my pillow, and I get my sleeping bag.
Actually, no.
Sherry had nothing. I don't know.
I'm going to remind myself
I don't know
to
if she
text my
had
phone.
anything or if
Watch
she
it.
didn't have anything. So I just walk downstairs with my pillow. I throw the pillow down. I just unzip the sleeping bag and just throw it over Sherry. And then all three of us just passed out on the same pillow.
And then I rolled around in some throw up.
No,
Or maybe it was just on my shirt from when I threw up.
But that shows how much I was thinking. Like, you were just throwing up, and I just said, like, here, just use my pillow. Don't throw up on it or anything. Yeah, no, the three of us in a
Okay,
line.
thank
Pillow-
God for Luke
out.
giving me his sleeping bag and you giving me the pillow for me to get disgusting. You guys, thank you so much.
The pillow is clean, but like,
I don't know why. What was like going through your minds? Like, this will help him. I'm already asleep. Like, I never.
No,
woke
I was
up
just
for any of
following
that.
directions. Sherry's
no,
like, put that on him. I was like, okay.
I said, fuck you. I got the pillow for me and Sherry. You were just there.
Ryan, you were so horny.
I was so drunk.
Like, don't even
I
try
was
to deny it. Just
so
like, yep.
freaking drunk.
Yeah.
God. Oh, man.
Freaking.
That was a night. Luke, I thought you were going to know more about what happened. I knew more than you.
That was what? That was it. Man.
So, all right. So that's what happened. Now let's get back to my perspective.
Did I make out with Sherry?
I don't remember any of this. Literally, like, the last thing I remember is way back when we first started passing around the hypnotic bottle. I don't remember anything after that. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm like, what is going on? And, like, were you guys, like, already awake?
I don't
You guys, like,
know.
already awake?
I don't... I think we all woke up together.
Yeah, we all woke up. Once one person woke up, we all woke up.
So that's
Yo,
what
can you
happened.
do this in Skyrim?
And
We are having a conversation here, Frank.
what the fuck is that? Is that Shrek?
Come on, keep going.
All
you
right,
woke
so
up.
I wake up and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, and I see the paper towels and, like, I don't even think anything of it. And somebody tells me, yeah,
Okay,
you
I told
threw
you.
up all over Frank's carpet while you were asleep. And I'm like, no, man. Because all I can think of is, number one, when you did that, Davis, but you threw up on the wall, so that wasn't that bad. And
I got half of
two,
it in the toilet.
Frank
I made it
having
in the toilet halfway through.
Blake threw up at Frank's house on his carpet, and they needed to rip up the carpet because it was, like, left there. And like, judging from, like, the paper towels on it, I'm like, this did not get cleaned up. So I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? And, like, just seeing that, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw up. So I like make it up to the bathroom, and I just, no. You tell me it's on your shirt. So
Sherry told you that.
I just take off my fucking shirt, and I'm pretty sure I just throw it on the ground.
And then you fall asleep again. You fell.
did?
You laid your head down on the pillow again. After that,
Then
Yeah.
I end up
you
getting up.
rolled up in the sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah. Then I end up getting up, and I'm like, I'm going to throw up. So I go upstairs, and I'm like in the bathroom for like a good few minutes, and I'm like, it's like, I feel it, but it's not coming. I'm like, fuck this, hand down my throat.
I did that.
And then I
bro.
just like, and I hadn't like realized how much I'd thrown up last night. All I knew is I felt sick, and I thought something would come out. No, it was like just dry heaving bile. And I was like, oh man.
And then you just passed out.
And then I just passed out on the
On
floor.
the floor. Yep.
Next thing I remember, the next thing I remember is Kelly like opening the door and
Get
being
up,
like,
Dylan.
"Is what?"
She's like, get up, Dylan.
Yeah, and then then what I remember after that is her going, "Is this what happened last night?" and holding up the bottle of Hypnotic that's empty.
Oh, yeah.
And just the thought of drinking that,
Oh, yeah.
like I was just like, "Oops, need to throw up again," and then I just threw up.
Oh,
Now
I
at this
had
point,
some
like me and Kelly had a deal, and she was like, "Listen, like all this liquor just can't be in the house like when Anthony gets home. So like that needs to happen." And I was so like disoriented and just I felt so bad because no water was drank. I wasn't woken up when I was throwing up. Except for you guys said you dragged me over somewhere, and when you were dragging me, I was like, "Don't touch me."
Yeah. No, we were
Yeah, no,
trying
that-
to move you, and
we
we
moved
moved
you,
you like
like-
a little bit away from your
Oh yeah,
car.
we forgot about that. The three of us, yeah, we passed out 5 feet from all the throw up.
Yeah.
Ew.
Nobody
Ew.
like was nobody was thinking like we didn't want to leave it just there, so we had to watch it. Gotta stay take care of it.
Don't run away.
Just keep it out of your mind.
Oh my god.
And
So-
yeah, in the morning I felt so bad. I was
So
like,
then this is what happens. So from there, like whatever, like I feel like shit, like, and I need to get the liquor out. I think I asked Frank. I was like, please just put the liquor in my car. Like
I moved.
like I'm like Kelly showed me that bottle, and like I can't, like if I look at it, I'm gonna throw up. Like it's just the thought of it is making me nauseous. Please bring it to my car. So they brought it to the car or whatever, and like I'm sitting on the couch in the living room, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm just freaking out. Like I ruined their carpet. Like I feel like shit. Like
Don't
everything-
remember what happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is so bad. And Kelly's like trying to talk to me, and I'm like, listen, like I can't even talk to you right now. Like we'll talk about this when I'm all right. So like at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to leave. So like I get all my stuff, and like what I thought was all my stuff, and I'm like walking out the door. I'm walking on Frank's grass. My feet are getting soaking wet from the dew.
You forgot your
And,
shoes?
like,
Good.
Yeah, no, I was just in socks. And I just take all the stuff and just throw it in my back seat, including my shirt that has throw up on it.
Did you drive home without a shirt on?
No,
I
drove.
had my other shirt on. Anyway, so now we're back in the living room, and I feel like shit, and I'm like, okay, I need to leave, like, before Anthony gets home. So I'm like, I think I asked you, Luke, I'm like, you could, like, I'm still drunk. Like, please drive. And then, like, something in my mind was like, Kelly, can I please have a garbage bag? Like, I know I'm going to throw up, like, all over my car.
Yeah.
Like, we get in the car, like, I put the seat back, I lay down on my side, and, like, I didn't see anything, but, like, I felt everything. Like, I knew exactly where we were at every single point. Like, just because, like, I know the way to Frank's house,
Yeah.
or my house from Frank's. So, like, I knew where we were, and I felt it. Like, I felt us pull up to the curb, like, at my house. The second we stop, I'm just like, oh. I get out of the car, and mind you that the only thing I've had, aside from bile, I had, like, half a cup of water. So I get out of the car, and, like, I just need to get in my house. I need to get in my house. As I'm walking, I just start throwing up in the bag all the way from the car to the front door. I get to the front door. I'm banging on the doorbell as I'm throwing up.
Oh, God.
It is, my dad opens the door, and, like, in between my throw up. I'm just like, drive Luke home. And yeah, and then I tried to walk in the house with it, and then I was like, wait, I should put this in the garbage. And then I threw it in the garbage, and then I went upstairs, and then I woke up at 12.
And I was like, Dylan, we're going to this movie, right?
I felt like such. Let me hear your guys' experiences going home.
Well-
I was completely fine, and I went to church.
Fuck
Oh.
you. Fuck you. God. I woke up. I was not as bad as Dylan. Like, I moved all the stuff to his car. I had the worst headache. I have never felt that bad before. I usually wake up and, like, I feel fine. Like, something's, like, a little wrong, like, in my stomach or, like, my head just feels a little fuzzy. I woke up. I was like, oh. It was so bad. Sherry is just there like, hey, guys, what's up?
Okay, gotta go to
She's
work.
she's like fucking fine. Frank, like, I don't even know. Frank was
I was
worried about
angry.
his. Frank's
Frank's like, why the fuck didn't anyone tell me that he threw up on the fucking floor?
yeah, and Anthony spilt. And one of Anthony's friends spilt soda
Oh,
all
yeah.
over his Xbox.
What happened? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
They
We'll talk
ruined
about
your
that.
Xbox?
No, it's
Frank.
fine.
Yeah.
Somebody spilled Coke, and they left it there overnight.
On your Xbox?
Yeah, they also spilt it all. They also spilt it all over my brother's computer too.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
that we'll talk about that one later. So I feel so bad, and I'm like, going through my head is, I really should not be driving. I can't drive in this state. Like, I just want to stay at Frank's house for like another 2 hours till I feel a little bit better. And everyone's leaving, so I'm like, I'm not going to just stay here with Kelly and just be that guy. So I drive home, and like that drive home, I was like so freaking worried. I pull up to my house, I park, and I'm like, all right, my parents think I was at Dylan's house, and I told them like we weren't drinking because they were having such an argument about all that stuff. And I'm like, I spray myself down with Axe, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I like, all of a sudden, I just like woke up and I felt fine as I walked in the door. My parents weren't home. All of a sudden, I felt like shit again. So I took a shower and then just passed out until like 12:30. And my mom came in and was just like, are you okay? Like, were you drinking? I'm like, no. And I like open my eyes and look up at her, and she's like, yeah, you are so hungover right now. It's like, oh.
Oh.
I was like, oh, like, I'm going back to bed. It's like, could you pass me that water over there? She just left.
What did they say? What did she say to that? That's my question. I mean, was that the time when you had to tell your parents that you've been drinking for like months now?
Luckily, after Dylan had that whole fight with his parents, and like, you know, they were like, well, I need permission. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk to my mom about it. Like, she said, like, I know you're at that age. Like, you should be. She was fine. She's like, yeah, that's okay. Just be smart about it.
Just not at my house.
So she's like, I can't let that happen at my house. But like, if you go out to someone else's house and you're not driving and you're smart about it, like, that's fine. You know, just don't do it all the time. So she was like, wow, this fucking kid.
Okay, I think are we done with this party story? Because I want to tell another story.
And then we
Wait.
went to the movie.
How long is this podcast gonna be?
It's gonna be 2.5 hours.
Are you going to upload the whole thing?
Yeah.
Of course.
So wait, so now I'm home, right? I wake up, I tell my mom, like my mom's trying to talk to me when I get home, and I'm like, Mom, I am drunk right now, and I am so fucked up. Like, please leave me alone. Literally, like, and she's trying to ask me stuff. Like, I'm like getting into bed, she's following me upstairs. Like, I lay in bed, and she's like still trying to ask me stuff. Last thing I remember screaming at her, I go, wake me up at 1. And then I'm out. I'm just out. Because I knew we needed to go to the movie.
I felt shitty that entire day.
So I
Wrestling.
wake up, my mom wakes me up. She's like, hey, how you feeling? And I'm like, She's like, can you move? And I was like, I woke up like half an hour ago and threw up. She's like, oh.
This was so
And I'm
bad.
like, she's like, well, did you drink any water last night? I'm like, define water.
Nothing.
So
Oh,
I was so bad. And she's like, all right, well, you're not going to be able to eat anything or drink anything. She goes, I'm going to bring you a cup of water and 2 pieces of bread. She goes, I want you to eat this bread. It took me fucking half an hour to eat 2 pieces of bread. It was the worst.
You were late to the movie too. Damn
You're like calling me and you're like, oh, movie. You're fine, right? I am fucking so bad.
Not me. I wasn't fine. I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, do you want me to drive? Because you are really bad, and I know it. I don't want you driving. I'm not great, but I don't want Luke driving because it's his birthday. So I'm like, do you want me to pick you up? You're like, I'm going to have to be late. Like, I don't know if I'm even going to make it. You were so bad. I felt really shitty, but I was still functional. Like, I was eating before that. I had so much popcorn.
So what happens is, whatever, you tell me, okay, like 2:15 the movie starts. I wake up at like 1:45 and I'm like, oh no. Because you like called me again. You're like, you're coming, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Damn
so
it, why'd we have to
at that point I start getting ready. And I'm getting ready, like I'm moving so slow because I feel like such shit. Like I go downstairs, I take like 2 aspirin and that just makes my stomach like even worse. Like walking around, like trying to like gather my stuff. I'm like, I slept in puke last night. I need to take a fucking shower. Like, and at this point, like all I can do is feel nauseous because like the thought, the smell, the taste, just all of it was there. All of it was on me and it just making me feel gross. And literally I had so much alcohol and so little water that my sweat was literally smelled like alcohol. So anytime I put my hands near my face, it was just gross. So anyway, get out of the shower and like you're calling me, you're like, oh, can you like, do you want us like you just pick me up instead of taking all 3 cars? And I'm like, yeah, sure. That was at like 2 o'clock. I knew the movie was at 2:15. It's like 2:07 and I'm literally like, I still feel like shit. I call Ryan. I'm like, please pick Luke up. Like I can't get him right now. I'm sorry. Like I have to be late. Like I can't move. So he's like, all right, whatever. So like I finally get the will to move. And like at this point, like I go out to the car and I get in and there's just alcohol over the place. I'm like, I can't drive with this shit in here. So I get my mom. I'm like, please help me take all this stuff out of the car. We take all this stuff out and like she like I like go to hand her the shirt and she's like, what the fuck do you want me to do with that? She goes, put that in a fucking plastic bag and just get it out of my face. So I put it in a plastic bag and just threw it out on my front porch and left it there and went to the movie.
So you're throwing that shirt out, right? Right?
No. We washed it.
God damn.
If it has stains on it, I'm going to throw it out.
And then we saw Collins at the movie.
Yeah.
You know that? And I was just like, I still felt so bad. I saw him, I'm like...
How did you... whatever. I get to the movie like
I didn't
15 minutes late after it started. Well, they probably didn't start at 2:15. The previews were probably at 2:15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they started like 10 minutes after.
All right, so I was like 5 minutes late to the movie from like when it started, I guess.
Yeah.
10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And like I'm in the theater and I'm like, I can't, like my brain can't focus at all. You're like, I put my hand up. I'm like, I can't see. I can't. Everything just looks black except for the screen. I'm like, Luke, come get me. So he comes and gets me. I like sit down next to Ryan. Ryan like moves the popcorn over to me and I almost threw up in the popcorn.
Oh my god.
Like I was like, no, like get that out of my face.
Oh.
We're watching the movie. We're about halfway through. We're at the part where like Falcon like throws down his like thing and he goes, consider this a resume. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up. So
Wait. We threw down what?
He threw down like all the
Oh,
files.
yeah.
Let's not spoil the movie.
He's in his house, yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
spoil the movie.
So I literally like I go into the bathroom, I like stand at the fucking toilet for a minute, and then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. So at this point, I call work, and I'm like, because right now it's literally like 4 o'clock. The movie's over in half an hour, and like I still feel like shit, and I have work in an hour, and I'm like, I call them, I'm like, listen, like I feel like I got hit by a train, like my stomach is so upset, like I'll try to come in at 6 with Megan, but I can't make any promises. The girl's like, we'll try to get a cover. I'm like, oh no. So I'm literally sitting outside the theater, like listening to the movie, not even watching it. And I'm just texting everyone, like, please go cover for me. And then nobody could. So I went into work at 6. But by the time we got out of the movie at like 4:45, I felt okay. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go.
You felt okay?
Then I went, and then I like came in, and Kieran just goes, you don't have a stomach virus. He's like, you wouldn't be here. He goes, how much did you drink last night? I'm like, more than I ever have ever. He's like, yep. And that was that. So I get, yeah, I'm pretty much said everything there was to say.
Yeah. I felt sick for the rest of that day.
Oh yeah, so did I. I felt sick until I went home that night.
I just had a headache.
Fuck you,
It was a
Luke.
dehydration
I had
headache.
the worst headache. There was chainsaws in my skull.
I didn't have a headache. I felt nauseous for the entire day, though. I don't
I
get
know, we
headaches.
got out
I
of the
don't know
movie
why.
and you were like almost throwing up.
Yeah. I don't get headaches, but I just feel so nauseous all the time. Frank, how'd you do that day?
I feel
What the
happy to
fuck? You
say
just
I have not
changed your
yet had a
picture,
very
Frank.
bad thing. What?
You just changed your picture.
Cold beer trucks.
To what?
Cold beer, trucks, jeans, girl.
Hey, guys.
Girl, just
Hey,
singular.
girl. Hey, girl.
So Luke, what did
There's a
you want to
deer.
say?
Oh, I was gonna talk about my dream.
No, what was Frank saying?
No,
Frank didn't
I
have
feel
anything to
happy
say.
to
He
say
went
I
to
have
work.
not. Yeah, I mean, like, I have not had a bad hangover at all yet. Like, I just went to work. I felt like a bit sick at one point, but it passed really quick.
Fuck you guys. Just suck
Frank
my
does
dick.
drinking right. Frank does drinking right.
Just give
Literally,
me a
he
blowjob.
gets fucked up and then he goes to bed. That's it. And then he feels fine.
See, I try to do that, but I've done that for like the past 3 times. No, every time I've thrown up, I go
No,
to
you did not
sleep.
do it past three times because
No.
you got fucked up, stayed up for like an hour, and then, threw up.
No, Frank.
Did
Do you not remember the part where the 4 of us passed out in a line and I felt really sick after that and got up and went to the bathroom? I go to sleep and then like 10 minutes after I lie down, I'm like, oh no, the same thing happened when I threw up all over your walls. I was lying down and I was trying to sleep. I was sleeping for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. And then somebody said something and I sat up and I'm like, oh no.
Bathroom?
Bathroom? There's a garbage over there? No, there's not bathroom. Oh, that's a wall.
So can we? What's worse, me on the carpet or Ryan on the walls?
You on the carpet.
You want to answer that?
You on the carpet, dude. So much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want an answer.
Because it's on the wall, I can clean it easily. That one I actually needed to... And this is another thing I was really angry about.
I got
Is the
half
fact
an
after you guys left, I still needed to clean, like a good amount of the smell out of the carpet. And I did not want to do that. Like, considering I had 2 hours to go to work, and then I also needed to do, like, more chemistry shit, like, before going to work.
Frank, thank you so much.
Shout out to Frank.
I fucking owe you. I literally throw up all over my house, like wherever you want. I don't care. Throw up in the china cabinet.
So
Throw
next
up on
time we
my
have a
ceiling.
next time we have a party at Dylan's house, Frank, you need to get as fucked up as you possibly can.
Yeah, Frank, literally
Well,
throw up on my carpet in the
here's the thing,
basement and then take a hairdryer to it and just like
Ew.
embed it in the rug.
I didn't hear what Frank said.
What? It is not worth the embarrassment because you guys do not let shit go at all. I'm gonna let what happened on St. Patty's Day be like the worst thing I've done.
I think the worst thing I've done was on
Hold on. We're not holding that against you. We just joke around.
I know, but I'm not letting it get any worse than that because I know I will never live it down.
Hey, I will never live it down fucking, like, painting your carpet, so...
I can make fun of Dylan for painting your carpet. I only painted the walls.
I can make fun of Dylan for asking for a condom.
Oh,
Oh my god, that's funny.
I just fucking badgering Sherry for a blowjob. God damn.
Oh man, if only you would have got one.
Damn.
She totally would have. That's the really sad part.
Who stopped her? Why?
I did. I'm like, Sherry,
Thank
stop.
you, Luke.
I'm like, Sherry, stop. And I was like, Ryan, stop.
What?
Want to be
Fuck
conscious?
you, Luke. You're the worst. I
Wait,
wanted
stop. Wait, what did he stop?
Sherry
giving you
from
a
giving
blowjob?
Ryan head.
Oh.
See, I want that to happen.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Luke, what? Luke, you cock-blocked him.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Luke.
dude, she made out with me and then wanted your dick.
Did she make out with me? I don't know. Fucking god.
I think you know
I don't
you
think she
remember
did.
pretty much.
I don't
I don't know.
think
I could ask Sherry. She remembers everything.
Well, but she asked him if they made out.
Yeah, she asked me. It's like, did we make out?
So she doesn't
I
even
said
remember.
No. Oh my god.
I think the best thing to assume is that they didn't.
I don't think we
Just
did.
to sort of see Brian's first kiss for something that he can remember.
Ryan,
if
I
he
hope you
doesn't-
had sex with her. I
doesn't
hope you
know.
had sex with her.
I didn't do that. I know I didn't do
That
that.
would have been hilarious.
That would have been.
That would have been
oh
so
my
funny.
God. That would have been.
Yeah,
so
both of them would have lost their virginity, and neither of them would have remembered it.
And neither of them would have,
Oh.
like, cared.
God. That
Oh.
was so messed up.
Sure, I would have been
Maybe
like,
Frank's
yeah.
out.
Yeah, this kid, I know this kid, sort of.
Honestly, had that happened,
I
as
know
long as
this
you were in my
kid,
room, I
sort of.
wouldn't have given a shit.
What'd you say?
God.
I said, had that have happened, as long as you were in my room or something, I would not have given a shit. But the fact of the matter is, like, if you were in my basement, that would have been a bit wrong.
I'm pretty sure when I
Yeah.
was talking to her about that, I was sitting on your bed, Frank, with her next to me. And I said the same thing that I said before, and she was like, not on Frank's bed. So, oh my fucking
Oh my god.
Wait, what happened?
See,
You asked her twice?
yeah. Oh my god, it was so bad.
Oh my god, Davis, you wanted it so
Davis,
much.
you,
Not have had that second shot at 151.
Davis, you Sagarabisha.
This is the best. This is the best night ever.
That was hilarious.
So,
Luke, I'm
almost
sorry.
the best thing ever.
Your birthday will never be this good again. That 2 days later, we are still talking about it and having a great time.
It was amazing. It was honestly amazing.
See, I thought I remembered everything, but now looking back, there are so many gaps in my memory that I don't know. I'm scared.
Scare?
I'm scared.
So, what about your dream?
Okay, so I wrote this on the train, so...
Oh, wait, hold on. I
gonna end
want to
with that.
just address this. When Frank mentioned, like, know when you forget your dreams?
Yeah.
When Frank mentioned me asking him about the condom, I feel like I remember that, but like it's like a dream that you forgot. Like I thought it was a dream. Like I feel like I remember asking him for
That's
that.
why I was writing stuff down on my iPod, because I knew I was going to feel something like that. I'm like,
Remember when we said at the beginning of the night we should have cameras in this house?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish we had.
Yeah?
Wish we had. Yeah, I want to know what happened. What I do.
You know what, Dylan? Next time we drink,
I'll
and
set
you're
up
going
my
to set it up where we're going to be staying, so we can actually watch everything that unfolds.
I'll set up my GoPro next time.
So that's it for this episode of Free for Members podcast. I know we didn't really talk about RuneScape, but we just wanted to share our account that we had over the weekend. I'm uploading this video 2 days later, just because I'm pretty busy Monday nights and Tuesday nights, so hopefully I'll be able to get it onto a schedule where I can record Mondays and upload Wednesdays If you're up for that, leave a like and a comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.